Welcome to Tabletop Rocks. I am Nate Whittington, your host, the DM with the most. Joining me on the other side of the table are my lovely friends, Colin, Rachel, and Chuck. Thank you so much for being here. Tonight, we are running Dungeoneering for the very first time. It's a game of my own creation.
Congratulations!
Thanks. I'm going to just roll with it. It's going to be fine. No panic. What is Dungeoneering? Dungeoneering was developed to be played as a semi-casual game between longer form campaigns. So it's sort of more of like a beer and pretzels style game is usually what they usually call it. The objective of the game is simple: to earn as much loot as you possibly can without dying. That's pretty much it. We're not really here for a big sweeping narrative. We're not here to fight some big bad evil guy. We're just here to get rich or die trying. So, with that being said, the core mechanic of the game is the D6 roll. And what I mean by that is all of the rolls that we're going to be making in the game are with a D6. This is the smallest D6 I could possibly choose.
Yeah.
So sorry about that. The tiniest die I could select. I have bigger dice right here. Why did I grab the tiniest?
We don't even have a dice cam for that.
Yeah, come on. There's nothing here. I could set this right here and it'll be gone forever. So like I said, all rolls are done with a D6. There are 4 character roles that we are going to be able to play in Dungeoneering. However, there are 3 of us here who are playing, so we are only going to be seeing those. We will start from whoever is first in the roles. Magician, Colin.
Oh, hello.
Do you want me to tell you a little bit about what a magician does so you can kind of get an idea of what
I'm going to go out on a limb and say, do they do magic?
They do magic. That is what they do. So
yes, tell me more.
Yeah, so a magician in Dungeoneering is a spellcasting sort of character, fairly commonplace in fantasy role-playing games. One of the things that they do is when they cast spells, they have to make an intellect check. And let me actually back up a little bit. There are 4 stats in Dungeoneering, right? There's might, intellect, agility, and favor. Might, intellect, agility are pretty straightforward, right? They're analogous to strength, dexterity, and whatever else you would find in a different game that we will not name.
The most popular fantasy role-playing game?
Yeah, it's in Creative Commons. We could say it. It's Dungeons and Dragons. I could say it. Sue me. Please don't.
Yeah, I was about to say, don't.
We have no
Get
money.
too close.
Yeah. Favor is a little bit different. Favor is essentially how blessed you are. You could look at this as a luck stat that you might see in like other games. It is also the primary stat that the unnamed role that we're not going to be playing uses. So there's a magician, obviously, which is Colin's going to be playing. There's also a thief who is going to be played by Rachel.
That's me. Yeah.
And then finally we have a warrior who's going to be played by Chuk. So each of you have those 4 stats. You have a primary statistic, which is essentially of those 4 stats, which of those stats is the one that you use the most. So magician is intellect, pretty obviously. Thief is agility, and then warrior is strength. The way that we determine our stats is that we roll a d6 for each of them. For those of you at home, yes, 1 d6, not 4 d6, drop the lowest, not standard array, not point buy. You roll 1 d6, and that's your stat.
But Nate, it's so easy.
Yeah, I keep it simple for my homies.
Could you pass me some D6s?
For your primary statistic, however, there is a slight difference. So if your primary statistic, like let's say magician, your primary statistic is intellect, right? Mm-hmm. So you're going to be rolling 2d6 for that. Basically, the idea is that gives you a little bit of a higher chance of rolling something. Immediately,
you made it so simple.
Immediately goes off the table.
Just re-rolled. It's fine.
Yeah, we're just live. It's fine. Yeah. So if you guys want to just roll a quick d6 for each of your stats and jot those down, you can pick whatever square you want to put them, the small one or the big one or the bottom one or the top one. I made these character sheets a year and a half ago, so I don't really remember what they look like.
Do you want one?
You know what? That would actually be helpful.
Yeah,
You know what?
like
Having me,
here.
You'll have to
probably-
paper airplane it, though.
Yeah, you'll just have to
No,
like
I
crumple
can-
it up. No, not that one. I've got 2 drinks right here.
You don't think
Well,
I'm
2 cameras and a computer.
Well, those aren't mine.
athletically inclined enough to
Those
make
are
it over
mine.
there to you? Don't actually make a paper airplane.
While Colin
Continue.
is using his massive intellect to build me some sort of contraption to send me this character sheet.
It'll be like magic.
If you've rolled a d6 for all of your stats, your primary statistic, go ahead and roll 2d6 for that, and then take whatever that score is. Now, we're going to do a fun, time-honored tradition of spending that much time talking about statistics. Beautiful. Amazing.
Wow.
He did it.
That was impressive. I
That
was not expecting
extremely
that
impressive.
result.
I was not expecting
You thought it
to
wouldn't
work.
work?
You
Yeah,
went to
100%.
pilot school.
This is why you have such a high intellect, I think. I don't know what you have.
I literally had a book about making paper airplanes when I was a kid.
And that's how we ended up here.
And yeah, and then all of it links up together. You can all see why we're friends and why we all play these kinds of games together, because that's exactly
Books.
I had a dragon book. I think everybody had one of those. So back to stats,
Super cool
back to
dragon
rules. We're going to do the time-honored tradition that most role-playing games do, which is decide your abilities and get all those scores in there, and then immediately disregard them while we just focus on the modifiers instead.
Love that, because I didn't roll great.
So-
I don't think your modifiers are going to help be great either.
Yeah, you're not re-rolling. It'll
So-
determine them.
Statistics, the things that you just rolled,
Very smart.
the might, intellect, agility, and favor, those can range from 1 to 12. However, what matters is their modifier. To determine the modifier for a ability, basically what you do is pretty simple. You just divide it by 2, right? Rounding down. So if you rolled it fairly not okay for your statistic, I'm afraid to say that your mod is going to be pretty low. The lowest mod that you can have is a 1. So if you have, for some reason, rolled a 1 in something, your modifier is 1.
Cool. I'm very
So-
agile, but not very smart.
For an example, for those of you who are, not math magicians, basically what ends up happening is that like a warrior, right, with an 11 might has a might mod of 5, right? Because 11 divided by 2, rounding down.
Okay, so we round down.
Yes.
Yeah. So, like, I had a 4, or sorry, a 7, and that's 3.
Yeah, okay.
Yep. Nailed it. I had to do the math. I was like, wait, is that?
Oh, I got to do that math a minute ago while you're still talking. Yeah, it took me a second.
Next is your hit points. Relatively straightforward. Basically, what you do is you just roll another d6 and then add your might mod to that.
Oh, the might. Great.
Yeah, why did it have to be the might? I only got one of them.
That's how healthy you are. It's your might. It's your natural resistance to poisons and bodily harm.
It adds up. Like, it's a good,
You're squishy.
yeah.
Now, I'm
Yeah.
just curious because I haven't really, put the finger on the pulse for you guys. What's our HP looking at? What do you...
I have a whopping 3.
Okay,
I have 5.
great.
6.
Excellent. Love to hear that.
Is it? Is it though?
It's wonderful. It's honestly wonderful. One quick thing to note about HP is that you regain 1d6 hit points when you rest, just as a rule. We'll talk about that later.
Cool.
So, how does this game work? We got the stats, we got the things, because that's done. Like, you made your character, and I've got some things I can give you, but beyond that, your stats and stuff are done. So, how do we actually play the game? When you are rolling dice, when I ask you guys to make a check or do a certain thing, let's say I ask you to make an intellect check. Basically what you do is you look at your mod. What is your intellect mod?
+3.
Okay, great. So that means that you have a 3 in 6 chance of succeeding at an intellect check. Basically what you have to roll is a 3 or lower. So
Okay.
pretty straightforward, right? So if you look at your mod, that number, you have to basically roll that number or lower.
Wow.
This is going to go
It's
well.
gonna be rough, y'all.
Oh,
Nailing it.
you've got one good number.
Yeah, but okay, yeah, that's
She's
pretty
got
good.
3, 1, 4, 1. So the 3 and 4 aren't bad.
Yeah, that's not too bad. What's your agility?
Could be much worse. 4.
Okay, that's totally fine. Yeah, if it was 1, that would be a problem. Oh, maybe we should reroll. Maybe throw that one away.
No. Death is the best.
Well, death is the best, but unable to get into the door at the very beginning.
I don't think we should be saying death is the best on live YouTube. Like, no.
I meant
Fictional death within the realm of a safe space with consensual adults. We've all agreed to play in the space of the narrative fiction that we have all set down
Excellent.
to play in.
Great.
Got it. Got it in 1. So, for example, right, I just gave the example with the intellect, but to give you another example, if a thief is trying to unlock a door, right, we'll talk about each of your abilities once we get to that point. But basically, if you were to make an agility check to unlock a door, I would have you make that agility check. You would have to get a 4 or lower because you have a 4 mod in your agility. Got it?
Yep.
Pretty straightforward. 2 things. When you roll a 6, it's a critical fail, right? Highest roll that you can get on a D6, basically that's the worst you can get, right? Think of it like a nat 1.
everything's backwards day with the rolls.
Everything is basically reversed, right? And, if you get a 1, that is a critical success, that is a critical hit, that sort of thing. And then the other thing is when rolling the dice results in a number that is either lower than 1 or higher than 6, it defaults to a 1 or a 6. So if you were to roll something for whatever reason, right, you had a bunch of modifiers, and you're like, oh, I rolled a 6 plus 3 plus 2, right, 11. I have to do the math again. Why do I keep doing this to myself? It would just be a 6, right?
Okay.
Not that you would want to add it, because that would be bad, but you get the idea.
Sure.
So let's talk about what your characters can do. We are going to go in the same order, magician to thief to warrior. So let's take a little gander here at our magician. Now, I mentioned before that the magician can cast spells. What makes it a little bit different is that you have to make a check to cast your spells. That check, if it succeeds, then you are able to cast the spell unimpeded. If you fail, you still cast the spell, but you do what's called a magical misfire, which is essentially a version of the spell with some slight changes, some not so great bits.
Love that for us.
If you critically fail on your spellcasting intellect check, you accidentally do what's called a magical anomaly, which is basically, what if you took the spell and made it as bad as possible for you specifically, and then that happened instead?
Oh.
I'm so glad I'm not the
For
magic wielder
you
this time.
specifically,
That's
right?
great.
Not for us.
Not necessarily. There's certain things that can be widespread.
Great.
Excellent.
One of my tenets when I was making this game was, what if I just made everything as crazy as possible? What if I just took it and just amped it up to like a certain degree? Because, when someone does a spell and, I missed, and then that's it. It's like, okay, that's boring. That's not magic, right?
Yeah.
I want to I messed up and now gravity is reversed forever. Like, that's
I
what
love
want.
that.
That's what I want.
Yeah.
Right? Moving on, you also, if you find scrolls in the dungeon, right? There are scrolls that exist in the dungeon, and anyone can cast scrolls. Anyone can use scrolls. You don't have to be a specific
Excellent.
class. The only thing is that you have to make an intellect check when
Bummer.
you cast them.
I was so excited, and I'm like,
Same.
just kidding.
Hey, you might not want to do
I
that.
don't think I'll be doing that.
This there's the other role, the other class that we're not really talking about is the prophet, and if they basically what they can do is a version of spells called prayers. If you guys find a scroll can be either a spell or a prayer. So you could find a prayer and roll a favor check to see if you can actually cast that instead. Not that that might be much better for the two of you.
Yeah.
But okay,
A little better.
that's it. That's basically what it is. You can
do
cast scrolls,
everything,
but as a
Chuck.
magician,
Stop.
what you can do is you
Minor-
can actually take those scrolls and stitch them into your spellbook, your grimoire.
Okay.
That takes time, but
Sure.
once you do it, that spell is unlike a scroll where you cast it and it's gone and it dissipates into the magical ether and forever it's gone. You can cast it as many times as you want as a normal spell. You basically add it to your spellbook permanently.
Got it.
So, but that
And
takes
what
time.
spells are in my spells book?
We will get to that in just a moment.
Okay, I thought I missed it because I had an ADHD moment with that candle noise. So I'm on it. I got it.
I was wondering what that little crackly, bubbly noise was.
It was so pleasant, though.
It was a little bit of ASMR for me.
I thought something was going wrong with the technology, and I was just like freaking out over here, and I was like, "Oh my god!
Yeah.
Oh, it's just a candle!" And I
It's
was
just
like,
got a wooden wick. It's for
I
atmosphere.
accepted it. I heard it and I was like, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Sorry if you at home were like, I can't watch this and you left. I don't. It's fine.
"For all of you who don't like ASMR, I got you."
Yeah. For all of you who want a perfectly silent moment. It's its own form of ASMR. Let's talk really quickly about the thief and what they can do. I alluded to before that they can do lock picking.
Yep.
Basically what that means is that you can unlock or lock any door that you come across by making an agility check. We basically look at whether you succeed on that. And if you do succeed, the door is locked or unlocked. Pretty straightforward. If you fail, then the basically nothing happens, right? The door is either still unlocked or it is locked. There's really no immediate fault, right?
Okay.
Something might happen that will prevent you from trying to do it again, right? If you try to unlock the door and it doesn't work, you might attract monsters that are around who might be like, hey, who's that? What's that tick, tick, tick noise I'm hearing, right? The other thing that you can do is you can utilize traps. So you can set traps for people.
Great. Love that.
You will
That's
start
fun.
with a trap or two. I'll have to double check. But basically what you can do is you can set those and forget them and wait for somebody to walk right into it. Or, probably more usefully, if you come across traps, you can disable them. It's the same kind of process. You just make an agility check to see if you succeed or not.
Do you do like a perception check or something like
No,
that
I'll
to
just-
see them? You'll just tell
I'll
me?
just tell you. Yeah, the assumption is that, and we'll get to this once I talk about how you
Mhm.
guys are like moving around in the dungeon. But basically, my assumption is that this isn't your guys' first rodeo. You're not in here just like, oh, a door, open it. Like you're gonna be like, oh, this is trapped for sure. Like
Yeah.
every door is trapped.
That's great.
Everything
My
is
first campaign, I put my hand into a hole in the wall
Yeah.
that had some writing over it, and I
Never.
Yeah.
lost my
Yeah.
hand.
A money
It
side
was a
scratched
money
above the
sign
hole.
scratched above the hole, and I was like, let me see.
Oh, money.
Yeah,
Nice.
okay, great. So
Rule
I'm
number one:
smart
never
in
stick
this
your
one.
hand in a hole.
Well,
It's not how I live my life.
well.
Oh my god.
Well,
We're at 23. We're fine. We're way past the point where we
Way
can't see this kind of shit.
We're at 23 minutes in already?
I mean, I don't. It's 9:23.
Oh, okay.
So
maybe. All right. Hey, I have a quick question on
Yes.
the thief. So when when the thief disables a trap,
Mhm.
can they take that into their inventory and then reset
if
it
it's
other
a
places?
if it's a trap,
Okay.
yep. If it's a trap that like you could move, like a portable sort of thing, then yes.
Right,
If
like a
it's like
bear
a,
trap
yeah.
or something.
If it's like a pit, of spikes, you can't be like, well, I'll just grab that and shove it in my extra dimensional space. You don't need to tell me where your extra dimensional space is.
We know.
I don't need to know that.
We know.
That's the game I'm going to create.
He's
Extra
writing it
dimensional
down right
spaces.
now.
It's going to be a deep dive, let me tell you.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you did there.
One really quick thing about the traps, by the way, is if you fail on that check, like if you're trying to disable a trap and you fail, nothing happens. Basically, the trap is still enabled. You're just like, oop, I almost tripped the wire.
I didn't
Right.
get into it.
Yeah. It's kind of like you cut the wire, but the timer's still going down. You're like, well, that's not good. If you critically fail, right, if you roll a 6, then the trap immediately goes off.
Okay,
So just heads up.
great.
Warriors. You've got two kind of features as well. Basically, the first one is combat prowess, which means that you can attack a number of times equal to your might mod.
Oh,
Nice.
What is your might mod?
3.
Yeah, you can
That's
make 3
nice.
attacks basically in your turn.
All right, all right.
If any attack fails, though, you cannot take further attacks. So if you fail like on your first one, that's a bummer.
Done. Okay.
Basically done, right? Like the assumption is that you swing your blade or whatever, it gets lodged into a piece of wood, or like it gets, the person deflects it and you're like, whoa, caught off guard, whatever. And then the other thing is heavy lifting, which basically means that you can choose a number of items in your inventory, aside from your starter equipment, which we'll talk about in a second. You can choose a number of items in your inventory that do not count against your encumbrance. And
Okay.
It does not matter what size they are. It does not matter how heavy they are. You just choose a number of items equal to your might mod that do not weigh anything. That'll be really great if you find like a big old golden statue that's worth like a bajillion gold, and you're like, wow, this thing's super heavy.
Yeah.
The warrior's just like, throw it on my back.
All right.
I'll
Sounds
slug
great.
this badass out of here. So,
We might be more cooperative than we have been in other games.
yes. And
Me or
It's us
you?
against
Me.
capitalism, basically.
for the two of you, the magician and the warrior, there are, when you get to a new dungeon level, right? So like we'll be on one level, and then once you get to a new level, second level, you can reselect the items that you have for your heavy lifting, right? So you can if you don't want something, or you just don't want that to be you can just say, you can say, oh, I want that, and that to not count instead of that.
Gotcha.
You can re-choose them.
Okay.
And then for you, if you have other spells that you've gathered along your travels, some scrolls that you stitched in, you can at the next dungeon level basically reselect your spells because you have a number of spells equal to your intellect.
So I could have 3 prepared spells that
Yes.
are ready to go, and I can change those out when I get to a new level.
Correct.
Got it.
That's exactly right. Let's skip ahead a little bit because we don't really need to talk about weapons too much. Let's talk about what your equipment is because you guys get some stuff right at the beginning. The magician.
I'm a magician.
Bumping shit. The magician gets a grimoire, which has 3 spells in it, and I need you to roll 3d6 for me.
3, 3, and 3.
So 9.
For real.
Literally.
I saw
Okay.
it. I watched it. Gotta keep
All right.
him.
So your
honest.
first spell is shrink/enlarge.
It's his favorite.
And
I would love.
You would love it too?
No.
I would love it. I'd love it.
If
Real
only.
handy for after the pool.
Yeah.
No, I was gonna say I would love if you were reading all of these off of like 1d6 table. So his first spell was shrink and large. His second spell was shrink and large. His third spell was shrink and large.
Oh yeah, no, that
because he
would
rolled
be-
all threes.
That
Yeah.
would be very funny. No, so shrink and large, the caster can increase or decrease the size of a target for 1 dungeon turn. We'll talk about dungeon turns and combat turns once we get there. This has no effect on magic items, just as a heads up. Magic items are unaffected by your magic. I won't read the magical misfires or the anomalies because we'll just save that for if those happen.
Yeah.
Perfect.
There are 3 misfires and 3 anomalies for every spell, by the way, and they're all different. So
Can't wait to find
Wow,
out.
someone put a lot of thought into this game. They must be really talented and great.
it was me.
1953 called. They want their voice actor back.
Somebody spent a lot of really hard work working on this book. I wonder who it was. It must have been someone really strong and smart and sexy. Who was it?
They didn't need the enlarged spell for sure.
They might have needed the shrink spell. I don't really know. Could you roll another 3d6 for me, please?
Sweetly.
Sweetly.
5.
Oh, I thought I was going to roll 6,
So
6,
slight
6.
intermission while Colin adds here.
I'm not good at math.
17.
Just a regular-
17!
He's not a magician. He's not a math magician. He's just a regular magician.
Yeah.
17. Water breathing.
Ooh, that's fun.
The caster can breathe underwater as though it were air for 1 dungeon turn.
This just
I wish
sounds
I
like
had
I'm
that.
about to fuck a mermaid.
Yeah, it's about to
I
be
can
what's
enlarge my
that
junk
movie?
and go underwater.
Oh, okay.
The one where the merman and the woman fall in love. Spoilers. I've seen the trailer for it. Could you roll 3d6 for me one more time, please?
12.
12.
Got that
Okay.
Got you.
Beautiful. Put to sleep.
Oh.
The caster puts a target to sleep.
Oh,
The
some worries about this train of discussion.
No, this is
Point.
now a Cosby
Oh, no.
pill pack.
No. Yeah, we're just gonna move right along.
We're not even
The-
gonna.
the
say
I'm
target-
not going to do
No,
that. I'm
no.
not going to do that.
These jokes are.
The target
Ugh.
awakens if attacked or after 24 dungeon turns.
Mm.
Nice
24 turns
That's
is a
a
long
lot.
time.
Nice long sleep. Aside from your grimoire, you also have a staff. You can hit people with it, or you can use it as just a cast your spells, whatever. You have some scribing tools, which are necessary for you to put a scroll in your grimoire.
Sure.
And then you have a starting pack, and a starting pack has 5 rations, 5 torches, and a water skin.
Okay. Is there any value or load I need to be aware of with those items? Since
No.
there's...
So the starting pack, all of your starting items don't have any encumbrance. Basically, they're just
Okay.
like free items, right? They don't count against your encumbrance load.
I'm going to denote starting items.
Yep.
Oh.
So
straight to that
the
page.
thief,
Yes.
you have a set of thieves' tools.
Hell yeah, I do.
Nice.
You also have
Can
2... What? What's up?
I was gonna say, can someone just tell me, is it I before E or E before I?
I
'Cause I've
before
been
E.
looking-
I before E.
Except after C. Okay, I have.
Yes.
Sorry.
It's written
Once
on
again.
here.
You're totally fine.
Jesus. Okay.
So you have your set of thieves' tools.
Thieves' tools. Great.
Yes. You also have 2, count them, 2 daggers.
Ooh.
Gee, Billy, your mom wants you to have 2 daggers.
Fuck
2. You also have a trap. A trap. Which I need
It's a
you
trap.
to roll, I believe, a d6. Yes. D6, please.
Just one.
Just a 1.
5.
5. Okay.
I forget that higher is not necessarily better in this game.
Well, this is just the
It's a little
chart.
different.
I know,
So
but
you
still.
have gotten a smoke bomb trap.
A smoke bomb trap?
A smoke bomb trap.
Hell yeah.
Comes with a jar filled. You don't need to write this down. This is just kind of flavor. So just take this thing. Comes with a jar filled with smoking powder, flint, and a stone tile. This trap must be placed on the ground with the activation tile placed on top of it. A creature that walks on the tile activates the trap,
Nice.
which fills the room and smoke as per a different item in the book. Which basically is just it fills the room with smoke
Love it.
for a certain amount of turns.
Let's do it.
You also have a starting pack.
Okay.
Which, again, 5 rations, 5 torches, and a water skin filled. Finally, our strong boy, local himbo, you get a sword,
Yeah.
a shield, light armor, and a starting pack. And we'll talk a little bit about that kind of stuff once we get into combat. But for now, what you can write next to your shield is that it gives you -1 DR. You can just put 1.
Okay.
What's DR?
Defense rating. Think of it like your armor class for other games.
And then what was the starting pack? It's 5 rations.
5 rations, 5 torches, and a water skin.
By the way, I love all of us in costume with these big bulky headphones, but especially headphones on top of chainmail. It's just cracking me up
good.
right now.
Yeah.
Pretty fucking-
It,
yeah.
it's mildly uncomfortable as all these metal rings are being shoved into my ears.
Yes.
Everybody
Put some
pour one out for
earbuds.
Chuck.
Pour one
Nah,
out
I'll
for
be-
Wait, what's your character name?
Uh,
Do we,
yeah, I don't know if we're revealing that yet.
I
But it's a
apologize.
big reveal.
I'm
It's going
so
to be
sorry.
a whole thing.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Spoilers, Colin.
how dare you?
I'm so sorry.
You should be. Aside from that, let's very quickly talk about exploring the dungeon, and let's just get in the dungeon.
Yeah.
So, exploring the dungeon, passage of time in the dungeon is measured in dungeon turns, right? Dungeon turns are 10 minutes long in game, right? Not in real life.
Okay.
That
I
would
was
suck.
like, interesting.
That would be really bad.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
Part 1 of 634.
yes. Basically, what it takes for you to traverse from room to room to room, it's 10 minutes basically each time because, again, I'm assuming that you are competent dungeoneers and you are not just blindly running through the place. You're very carefully walking through, touching all the things on the floor, making sure nothing's going to just you to death. Yeah. So, it takes you 10 minutes to go from room to room to room to room. So that's how we measure dungeon turns, basically, is once you go into a new room, or if you do something that's going to take a really long time, then we'll just say, okay, and that's a dungeon turn, which is important because there are certain things that we have to measure on a dungeon turn by dungeon turn basis, such as torches. Every 6 dungeon turns, your torch goes out. So that is one thing that you'll want to keep track of. On your character sheet, there should be a little bit of like a little thing that you can put a D6 on it and just kind of keep track.
Yeah.
Basically, if
Oh,
you just put it, if you put 6 on there, you can just notch it down
So you
But we
want
only
us to
start
put
with 5.
Satan's number with 666 on our sheet right now?
all according to plan.
But we start with 5.
Yeah, you start with 5 torches, but basically every 6 dungeon turns, your torch goes out.
Okay.
See what I'm saying?
I see.
Once the torches go out, you are blind because you're all human. So if it's totally dark, you can't see anything. And if you can't see anything, any action that requires sight has a 1 in 6 chance of success, which means you have to roll a 1 to succeed on it.
Not a problem.
Easy.
Easy.
Every 12 dungeon turns, you have to eat and drink. Right?
Okay.
Basically, every 2 hours, you're, using a lot of energy kind of going through this place. So you got to take a little snack break.
Yeah.
Right? Get a little sippy for yourself. Otherwise, if you don't do that, you're considered malnourished. And if you're malnourished, any action requires basically double the amount of time it normally would take. It takes 2 dungeon turns to go through rooms now. Anything that says, oh, it takes us, a combat round or whatever, it takes 2 combat rounds instead. So basically, you're just slower.
Gotcha.
Right.
So how does combat factor into?
We'll talk about
times?
that. Combat rounds, basically, to give you the long and short of it, once we get into combat, it goes down to 10 seconds instead of 10 minutes. So a combat turn is 10 seconds long. And then we'll just kind of run through it, and then once we're back, we'll just kind of resync back into the time. We're not going to worry too much about, well, we spent 1.5 minutes in combat, so technically we only have 8.5 minutes left in the dungeon. I'm not that guy.
Gotcha.
I'll just be like, yeah, no, we're still at the beginning of the dungeon turn.
Gotcha.
And then finally, every 24 turns, you have to rest. Basically, you just have to take a break, right? So that's every 4 hours, if I did my math right. Yeah, that sounds right. Otherwise, you're sleep deprived. And then when you're sleep deprived, instead of rolling 1d6 for your checks, you have to roll 2d6, which essentially means that you are going to much more of the time roll higher, and that's bad.
Oh, yeah, because it's reversed.
Yep. So, cool. We'll talk
Great.
about combat once we get into it, but combat is relatively simple.
Okay.
Other than that, I think we're ready to get into it. Any lingering questions? Any thoughts or concerns? Okay. Wonderful.
Are we assuming that we 3 are already acquainted
Yes.
and we're
Yes.
ready to go?
And
100%.
apparently we're competent, so that'll be a new thing for us.
Welcome change to the Tabletop Rocks crew.
Yes. Yeah. No more leaving the shotgun on the ship. You'll have to check our other videos to see what that means.
Hashtag mothership.
Yeah.
Oh, is this your first time? Oh, no, you joined us for mazes, but it's been a while since you've been back, so welcome back.
Yeah, thanks.
I mean, this is
I'm
the
sorry,
house
I'm
that you live
yawning.
in.
Yeah. I should have gotten coffee before this.
It's okay.
We're all parents
Instead-
getting together after bedtime to.
Oh, it's fine.
Yeah.
I'll wake you up. Don't worry.
Well, I'm just going to keep drinking, and either I'll get sleepier, or I'll get funner, or I'll get both.
Or more funner.
Okay. All right. We'll see. Well, I'm gonna do the loud swoosh, and then I'm gonna intro us in.
Whoa.
The 3 of you are dungeoneers, rapscallions, ruffians. You have been on the pointy end of a blade more times than you can count. You frequent taverns, brothels, and all places ne'er-do-wells dwell.
Yeah, we do.
You have already off to a great start. You have...
Sorry, you missed the aggressive
Found-
cheers.
I don't think anybody missed that. I think everybody heard it. The 3 of you have caught wind of a place far to the east. Mazar's Tower is a place that has been abandoned for many, many years. And if the rumors are correct, it is a place of dangerous magic, even more dangerous creatures, and finally, of course, more wealth than the 3 of you could ever hope to leave with.
Excellent.
Naturally, your ears only picked up on the last part. The rest
Nice.
is something to figure out. Someone will figure out in your group.
Ah.
So, the person who tells you about this job, the person who kind of sits you down and explains it, gives you a little bit of a diatribe, a little bit of like a flowery story, and most of you are, deep into your 6th or 7th ales at this point. You're just sort of
6 or
listening,
7.
waiting to kind of get the
Yeah.
paper, right? And basically what you hear amidst all of the kind of highfalutin history and all the other stuff is that long ago, the magician Mazar gathered ancient relics from across the land to his tower overlooking the sea. In an effort to try to move the power from the artifacts to himself, Mazar made a grave miscalculation. He brought ruin upon himself and the land around his tower. It has been decades, centuries since that has happened. Now the tower lies atop the cliffside in ruin, desolation, overgrown with all sorts of vegetation. Naturally, this makes it irresistible to the foolhardy, the greedy, and the ruffians of the world.
This sounds perfect for us.
Oh, we're doing an accent, huh? Love it.
Perhaps.
I love that that's in fiction. I love you in fiction saying, "Oh, we're doing an accent." Huh? That's what the kind of job this is going to be.
Perhaps there's need for undercover.
You'd think
So-
that the thief would be the one doing the weird accents, but no.
Or maybe be a little stealthier with the call out there, but
The three of you get a blissful sleep at wherever you call your home. And then in the early morn, you set off towards riches unknown to you. And after several days' travel, you finally arrive at the outskirts of Mazar's tower. It lingers atop the cliffside in the distance. You can hear seagulls cawing in the distance, the kind of gentle of waves down far below at the seaside. And as you creep and crawl along the path, the overgrown vegetative path leading up to the tower, you find the door has long since collapsed inward. And
Well, I think you could just go home.
Okay, bye.
Hang on.
we
as
can
you-
try
I was
a
kidding.
little bit.
Come back.
Okay.
As you peer inside, the sounds from outside kind of wash away, and there's just kind of a dull wind in this place. And lying in front of you, about 5 feet ahead from the door within, is a person lying on the ground with a knife in their back and a paper in their hand.
Well, I kind of creep up there surreptitiously and
Sure.
snatch that little piece of paper.
Sure. You find a piece of paper that is tied with twine, and as you flip the paper around, it has a key on it.
Ha ha
So
ha!
I will give this
You're gonna
to
have
you
to give it
guys.
that.
I'm coming.
Well,
Oh.
Can you paper airplane it, or
No, I
Oh,
can't. It's
it's
tied,
I know.
unfortunately.
You get to
It's
see
so
your-
heavy.
Gams,
that was a
Colin.
joke?
You find a note, and as you pull it away from the figure, you see their hand kind of like attached to it, so you kind of just jerk it, move it
Yeah.
around, they flip over. Their whole front side is burnt to crisp.
Ugh. That's unfortunate.
But why is it so spicy?
We will never have a serious game. Not ever.
spicy?
They did such a great job, like descriptors and sound effects and creating an atmosphere immediately. Just like the stupidest jokes.
Thanks.
It's so beautiful. I mean, it's really beautifully done.
So there's a notch in front of you, so hold it up so they can see it better.
What do you mean?
See, there you go.
Okay. There's number 1, very beautiful key. I'm going to put that in my pocket because I'm a thief.
Can I see that key?
Fuck no. I'm a thief. And then 2, I forget. We're on the same team. Here you go. It's fine. And then it's a map. And the outside of it said, "To
Someone.
Rad dog.
Rad Dog. Good sodding luck." And then you flip it around. It says, "What of you?" And there's a whole ass map here. The old codger had safeguards in place. I lost 10 guard men to that thing alone. Oh no, some worries. The teleporters are linked in more ways than one. Oh
Show the
no.
map a little bit here.
I'm not very good at reading maps. I'm going to give that to that one.
I have a high intellect. I can help
Yeah.
you out.
I'm not very smart, but I'm good at opening things.
I'm not very smart, but I'm good at opening things.
Well, we've got some intentionally fantastic writing on here.
So
Well,
if
look-
you look at the map, you are, especially in the spot that's very badly
Should you
burnt.
put it in the middle so that our other nameless buddy can look at it?
Yeah, I'm gonna read the things you missed. How far does the songbird sing? The walls hide secrets.
Is it American or African songbird?
It depends, really.
Oh boy.
A European swallow? What a view! How do we get there? Oh, so there's this spot right here that says, how do we get there? That might be the goods. And here how are we supposed to know? Oh no. I think this is going to be a treacherous adventure. The teleporters are linked in more ways than one.
Where are we on this map?
So if you hold the map, like horizontal, yep, and then the burn mark is in that kind of like that circle burn right there.
Mhm.
That topmost room
Mhm.
right there,
Mhm.
a little bit up higher. Yep, turn it around. look at what you're doing. The very top room. That is what you just walked into.
Okay. Did we come in from like this north little? Is there a door here?
Yep.
Okay.
The door right there that's burnt off
Wonderful.
from the map is there. As you walk in, you see that to your right is a wooden door that's locked.
Look at this.
And directly ahead of you, sort of in the corner of the room, is a portcullis that is down. So it is blocking the path forward.
I'm gonna check out that room there with this handy dandy key.
You slip the key into the door and does not unlock.
Oh, too bad I'm a thief.
Too bad you're a thief.
Let me get out my thieves' tools
Yes, your tools.
and do a quick little Jimmy that
Okay.
lock.
Make an agility check for me.
2.
Great. With a satisfying, the lock undoes and the door swings open.
Kandorian. We all know that. We've been introduced. We've known each other for a long time. I'm Kandorian, of course. We all know this. I am drawing my saber to prepare myself because obviously Radog did not get very far in here.
Yes. Raw Dog didn't make it too far.
Raw dog with no luck.
Colin, what are you doing? And what's your name?
Hi, I am Nanak Sagam,
Not
the
Sagam.
great magician.
Ah,
My friends just call me Nanak, though.
okay.
That's not true. We call him Nani.
Oh, yeah.
That's
we
our
do.
Nani.
Nani.
We love
He's
it.
a magic.
great Nanak Sagam!
Great.
It's just
Thank
the
you,
word
Nani.
magician said backwards.
Thank you, Nani.
Anyway. I think I am certainly preparing my shrink spell in a
traditional sort of Errol Otis magician way. Just
oh, you can't see me on the
box.
camera. I'm like kind of like
Yes.
I'm ready to go, but I'm gonna hang back and see what happens to these fools.
Sure. Rachel, what did you say your name was? Did you pick one?
I'm Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift.
But TAELORE
The fantasy Taylor.
SW.
Taylor Swift.
IFT.
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift, yes.
Perfect.
And I obviously have my daggers drawn because I always do, because people are terrible and I will stab them in the back before they stab me in the back.
Well,
You just
speaking
also
of
saw
daggers,
Raw Dog.
can I pull that one out of... Raw
Woo!
dog?
Thrifty!
As you go to pull the dagger,
Oh,
you
I thought we should have the thief
pull,
examine that
and it
body
is
for traps.
stuck in there. And as you kind of yank, kind of put your foot down on Raw Dog, pull his, like, get good leverage on it, you yank the sword out, and then as you sort of like pull it back, it flings out of your hand, stops in midair, hovers, and then lunges and tries to attack you.
Oh, shit!
Fuck! Okay. I mean... yeah.
Farts.
Farts!
Getting into combat.
Getting into combat, let's do it.
We're doing it.
See, I just
So-
want...
Daggers are already drawn, as they always are.
Yes. So during combat, like I mentioned, the timing changes. We go from dungeon turns to combat turns.
Sure.
So every turn from here until combat is over is going to take 10 seconds, right? So once you guys are done with your stuff, 10 seconds passes, basically.
Okay.
To determine initiative, I need you guys each to roll a d6, and you can... we'll see where we go with that.
3. 6.
Okay.
I have a 2. It says
Okay.
initiative mod plus D6. Do we have an initiative mod?
Don't worry about that.
Okay, great.
There's going to be something
two.
else with that. But with, you said a 2?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So we'll say that for the purposes of the stream and just to keep things on clip, we'll go with whoever has the best initiative roll, which is you. So it's a 2.
Great.
The dagger.
Oh, I thought I did so good. It was a 6.
I don't know what I'm gonna. How are we gonna fight a
Bad.
floating dagger?
So you guys can essentially, as a group, determine who goes first. You can decide whether you want someone to go ahead of you. Basically, you can kind of strategize and see how you want to handle this. But there's a floating dagger, and it's like...
I have the lowest HP, so I think I'm going to stand back.
Yeah, but you're also the only one that I feel like can fight a floating dagger.
I thought some of my stuff can't work on magic items.
Oh.
I mean, it's pointing towards me, right?
It is.
It's okay.
Yep.
You can go first.
Okay.
You got a shield. I don't know.
Yeah.
Good luck.
I do have a shield. Kandorian, grabs his shield and is just going to run towards it and swing the shield up as to try
Sure.
to get it to just like stick into the shield.
Sure. Okay. Make a might check.
Do I add my modifier or subtract my modifier?
Subtract your modifier.
So 1.
Perfect. Okay, great. And that's not a
Oh, that-
natural one, right?
oh.
That was that
No,
a 2
yeah, it was a
minus?
4 minus 3.
Got it. Okay, great.
The
So,
reverse is so
Perfect.
hard to get into.
you smack the dagger.
Mhm.
It does 1 damage to the dagger.
Okay.
The dagger sort of like twists around. It does not lodge into your shield, but it does kind of get battered away. It hits the wall and sort of clatters and then lands on the floor and then just starts to like trying to like get up. Did either of you want to do something?
It's on the floor?
It is on the floor.
Oh, I just
Throw the body on it.
Throw the body on top of it. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
That'd be a might check. You got
Yeah.
a good might.
Would it be might?
I would
Oh,
say
sorry.
you could probably make an agility check there. You could just basically we could position it as you just getting
We're
leverage
gonna
and just
do agility. That's great.
great. What'd you get?
3.
Perfect.
But you subtract your modifier.
Yeah,
you'd
it's
be
a
like,
dirty one.
Negative, a dirty 1.
Beautiful. All right, even better. You take the body and basically just like as he's doing this, you're already moving toward the body. You grab the body and just sort of like roll it on top of the dagger.
Yeah.
And
But
body kind
with
of-
finesse.
With finesse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very expertly. Yeah. You do it with a hair flip
Yeah.
and then sort of like land in a pose.
Yeah.
You flip the body over it and the body kind of is like, and then it stops moving after
Great.
a couple seconds.
Nailed it.
Dagger is thoroughly suppressed. By
Thank
the
you,
weight
Taylor.
of-
I am sorry. I will not be so foolish as we continue on.
Should we check out what's behind this door that we left wide open?
As you look into the door, you see a hallway
Uh-huh.
that just sort of like, it basically goes into a T, right? So if you're looking at the map,
Maybe here.
you can see that it goes down, like basically when you're like looking, let me do the direction that you guys would basically be seeing instead of the map. That way I can just kind of, you're walking in the room. To your left is a door.
Mm-hmm.
Straight forward, the hallway continues, but it doesn't go anywhere. It just sort of ends.
Okay. I mean,
The map says here lies Anbog.
some worries. Doesn't sound great.
Anogbog?
Raw
Is
dog.
do we see anything like on the floor, or should we just walk straight to their door and give it a good old listen?
As you
Do
make
we-
your way, what?
Do we need to roll a thing because we've gone through a room? Like a
Yes,
dungeon
it's been
turn?
1 dungeon turn. Yes. So we're going into this hallway. This hallway is technically a room, so you are on dungeon turn 2.
So we just flip over torches, right? do we have-
Yes. So
Okay.
torches. Torches are the only thing that you basically can flip over right now because basically you're
Okay.
just tracking those down until the torch runs out.
Got it. Oh, so every time you do 2 torches, then you do a nourishment.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
So I'm listening against that door.
Yes, and as you listen against the door, you put your ear up to it, and you can hear silence. Nothing.
Great.
Quiet. As
Go
a
ahead and
mouse.
jimmy that handle.
Okay. You go and try to, and it clicks open, and the door swings wide as you see a fairly gruesome sight within. You can see a sort of long room, and then inside of it are like maybe they were bodies at one point, but as you sort of look around, you see what's left is just bludgeoned, smashed smears along the room.
Whoa.
Oh, that's
Smashed bones,
that's
dented
a lot
armor.
of bad blood there.
You look, and just based off of your brief investigation of the scene, they look like they were perhaps a dungeoneering party that had come here at some point in the past.
Like us.
Are there any traps?
You do not see any traps. However, you do see on one of the bodies, kind of mushed up against the wall, a thief's pack. And as you sort of look at it, you see that indeed this must have belonged to some sort of thief. Within it, you find 20 gold pieces,
Taking that.
Yep.
No one needs to know.
2 daggers,
2 what?
2 daggers.
I'm up to 4, baby.
You also find a crossbow,
Taking that as well. Okay, wow. How exciting.
and you find 3 unrefined pearls within.
Amazing.
Anything else in the room that the magician would want to loot, or is it all?
It's
gore?
all just smashed to bits. This
Dude.
was just happened to be. You get the impression that maybe the thief had tried to like wedge themselves up against the wall to protect themselves from whatever was in here, and it.
I feel like things are going to try to like smush on you. If they're getting bludgeoned, I feel like if we go into this here room.
The magician looks up,
Oh,
tries to see if he can see anything.
The ceiling is clean.
it's the walls are going to come together and smush us.
The walls and floor are covered in old viscera.
Okay. What do we see at the other end of the hall, the room? Is it just a door?
At the end of the hallway that you were in before?
Like, to keep going forward?
Yes, it just terminates. There's no...
Oh,
it
there's
doesn't-
no door.
So are you talking about in the room you're currently in?
Yeah, the smushed room.
Yes, there is a portcullis that is in there that is open.
It's open?
Yeah, so it's basically just an archway.
Taylor, you want to go see if
I'ma
there's something
run.
cool in
I'm
there?
going to just run for it.
Okay.
She runs, I run.
Okay.
Great.
The 2 of you run into the next room, and you find a kind of strange scene, given what you had just seen. You find what looks like a sitting room. You look around, and you see dusty couches, some desks along the
This
walls.
is sketchy as hell.
You see, some missing cushions on the couches, but other than that, empty.
Okay,
I'm still across
Nani,
the room.
come here, I guess. It's fine.
What do you see in there? Anything cool?
It's a break room, Nani.
Yeah.
As you do look in the room, you kind of look to the walls. You see that there are 2 doors rather on the wall opposite where you entered, and then if you look to the right, all the way at the end of that room is another door. So 3 doors basically in this space.
So if we go to the right, I believe we may make it to an area where it is labeled a tunnel? Question mark.
There's also this giant vortex hole-looking thing.
While they're
and
looking
there's
at the
another thing
map,
that
I
says
make my
stay
way to
away.
them.
To each
Yeah,
of
let's
the
go to tunnel.
To where they are in the
'Cause
break
we don't want
room.
to go to the stay
Oh,
away
sure.
area.
Sure.
And this has a big old X on it.
Yeah, that can be good.
Yeah, tunnel.
Tunnel.
Great.
Okay, so you're going down basically if you're looking at the map.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, you head.
I don't
over,
like that he
I don't
laughed.
think I laughed either.
You see a pretty simple wooden door, and as you reach it, you find that it is locked.
I'm going to try this key first.
Okay, you put the key in and jiggle it. Does not open.
I'm going to use my thieves' tools.
Okay, make an agility check.
3.
Three.
Mine negative
Yep.
31.
Dirty one.
That you hear again a satisfying click as the door slightly opens, and you get a smell of like burnt something is burnt in the room.
Great. Love
If you
that.
want a visceral smell, you can smell that map.
Okay, great. I'm gonna let one of the boys go into this fire room.
Sure.
No problem.
You push the door open, and as you look inside, you see bones scattered around, and there is a large scorch mark that goes from basically where you're standing all the way to the opposite side of the room. You see bones sort of blackened along the sides of it. You also see that there is an archway halfway along the wall to your left, and then where it said tunnel question mark, you see just wall, corner, wall, and then floor. There doesn't seem to be anything there that would, to you,
I step back. I do not see a tunnel, but there's lots of bones. Very scorched bones. Noni, get up here!
I reluctantly peek my head in the room.
as you
I don't.
peek your...
Do I see any gold? Do I see any scrolls? Do I see anything of value?
You can see nothing of value, but you can see a light coming from the sort of archway that is halfway along the wall on the left.
The one that leads to that
The
spiral of
vortex.
death. Yeah. I'm a say no on that one. What about you? I mean, you can check it
I
out.
don't know. What?
I can provide emotional support from afar.
Now, I do have my shrink spell, so if we think that...
You want to shrink a vortex?
No, I'm saying if there's a stone, maybe I shrink and it reveals a tunnel. That might be something to try. But do we see anything that looks like potentially a tunnel could be behind?
As you sort of like reach your hand sort of in the corner, you're touching the walls, touching the floor, and then as you get in that corner, you push where you're expecting stone to be, is like your hand just goes through it, almost
It's
like
an
a paper mache.
illusion.
Like you just rip through fabric and then look underneath, and you can see that it is indeed a tunnel that goes into darkness. You have to get on all fours to go in it.
Yeah, you do.
So instead of putting your hand in a wall, you're gonna put your whole body in it?
I think he decides, like, let's go for it.
Should we drop a torch?
Can we put it? Yeah. What?
Yeah, he lights a torch.
Oh, okay. To
I think
throw
you're
in
keeping
there.
track of your dungeon turns, by the way. It's been at this point.
I think we're down to 3.
Yes. So this is your 4th dungeon turn, technically, that you're in right now.
So we should have a 3
Yeah.
up. Yeah, so he puts a torch in his mouth.
No, I'm saying roll it down there so that you can see how far it goes without putting your body in harm's way.
No, his beard hairs are being scorched as he...
Intentionally trying to.
Sure. You get down on all fours and you start crawling in. Just like, shh, shh, shh. You can hear it. And actually, as you're doing so, this space is unfinished. Like the rest of the space has been stone floors, stone walls. This is like dirt or like
Sure.
packed sand almost that you're just gonna like shh, shh, shh. And as you continue to do so, you get to the other side and you kind of like feel, and it's thicker, but it is not stone. So a good whack and your fist is through it. And then you kind of just rip it to the side and you see another space in front of you. And actually, as you look in that space, you see that you are, if you were to look at the map, you are in essentially that other room that is just adjacent to it.
And it says, "What a view!"
Or is
on
it
our
the-
map.
I think it's
The one
No,
where
the
the
one-
arrow
oh,
continues
Yes.
through.
Yes.
Oh, so it says, "How were we supposed to know?" And there's some like
No, not
scribbling.
yet. You gotta go through
Yeah.
that one.
Okay, so this room should be
As
chill.
you look in here,
Do we
you
follow?
see
I don't know if you
bookcases
follow.
along the walls.
Books. I definitely look for scrolls of magic.
Do you
As-
reach back at us at
Noni,
all?
what do you
No,
see?
there's scrolls in front of me. I'm not talking to you. I'm going. Oh.
As you clamber
This
out of
idiot.
the hole, the two of you in the other room hear a loud, like, bang. Like a noise that sounds like something, like, fell really, really loudly. Not like a bookcase. But
Can we tell like what
stone.
direction? Like, is it behind us? Is it from the tunnel?
If you are looking at
Does it
the
sound
tunnel,
like something pulverizing bodies? Nathaniel.
It sounds like stone on stone.
Great. Fucking run into that tunnel.
If you're looking at the tunnel,
Secret tunnel.
right?
Just listen.
The sound appears to have come from like your right and like that direction. So if you're looking
Okay.
at the tunnel, imagine spatially,
Yes.
Uh-huh.
right? It's over there. Comes from a place that like you have not explored yet.
Huh.
If you're looking at the map, it sounds like it came from the big circular room.
Yeah, I don't want to go in there. I really don't want to do
Is there a
that.
door there, or is it just like an open
It's
archway?
the door. There's the door that you came through.
Yes.
Other than that, there is no other, except for the archway that is also in this room that has the light that goes to the swirly room.
Gotcha. So but that archway, there's no door there. Like we could
No.
peer into the other room.
Yes, you could.
You gonna peer?
Yeah.
Wait.
You walk over and peer into the room.
Yeah.
and-
Tentatively.
Yes, tentatively. You see what looks like a normal room, save for one probably important detail, which is that all of the furniture is on the ceiling.
Oh, it's a gravity situation. I bet you the gravity's switching back and forth.
Watch out, John Mayer might be in that room.
Oh,
Gravity.
hate him. So better go through the secret tunnel.
I'll let the tunnel then.
As the two of you,
The real big bad of this game is just John Mayer.
It's Jean Meher.
It is me, Jean Neher.
Let me make weird faces at you while I play my sitar.
He really does make weird
What's your
faces.
character's name again?
You
Nani.
can call me
Nani.
the great Nanak Shagan.
Nanak Shagan. This guy shows up. He says, Nanak Shagan, I should have known. Here to steal my secrets? No. You, speaking of secrets, you are in what looks to be a study or a library of sorts. As you go
hell
through
yeah.
the notes, you obviously smell of books, old tomes.
I am in a state of euphoria.
The two of you sort of crawl in as Nanak is sort of rifling through the shelves. The two of you notice on the floor there are deep gouges in the floor, kind of like away from the study, sort of like in the kind of corner of the room where Nanak would have just like seen the books and headed toward the books. He would not have looked over that general direction. You see scour marks on the floor. But Nanak, you see that in the bookshelves, amongst the tomes of scholarly insights and other philosophical endeavors, you find 2 scrolls. I need you to roll a 3d6 for me, please.
You gotta stop doing it that way.
9.
You could be tricked,
9?
tricksy.
Okay.
It was 9. You saw.
You briefly read through the runes on the scroll, and you find that it is a read/comprehend spell. Could you roll a 3d6 for me again, please? I will tell you what read comprehend does while you roll that. Read comprehend. The caster can read and comprehend. Shocker. Written or spoken languages that would otherwise not be understood. This effect lasts for 1 dungeon turn.
12.
12. Excellent. 12, you have repair. One of the spells, the other spell that you find on this scroll is repair. The caster permanently repairs a small rip, tear, or break in an object that can fit in the hand. Just for you. The two of you, as you're in here, you hear a like scritching noise.
Oh, don't like that.
You're not
Where's
sure.
it coming from?
It's hard to say. It's sort of like in the room.
Noni,
Well,
don't get those
can
books.
I-
There's bugs in there. Put them back.
Can I look at the gouges in the floor?
It's historically accurate that a library book would have bed bugs in it.
Yeah,
So
we know it's gross.
Disgusting.
Put it back.
Small fact for all of you at home. Don't check out library books.
no, go to the library. Just put them in the oven at 200 degrees for an hour. You'll be fine.
Your library will love that, by the way.
Take
It'll
the
be fun.
plastic off.
No, I'll leave it on. Let it melt. If they have a problem, tell them to come to me. Don't do that. You look at the deep gouges and you see that it looks like something was either dragged very heavy through this like stone floor,
Mm-hmm.
or something just like carved it.
Weird.
The scritching is louder from where you are.
Okay. Is it near that door on the other side of the room?
It is in this room.
Okay.
You can definitely tell now that you are like at the marks on the ground,
Uh-huh.
and as you sort of like
Yeah.
peer up, you see that the ceiling is just like completely covered in
Oh, good.
writing.
Oh, so much better than I thought it was going to be. I was like, spiders! Okay, it's covered in writing.
Yes.
Great. Can I read or comprehend it?
Yes.
I can.
Yes, you can.
Wow, I don't need to spell or anything.
You see a pen writing on the ceiling, just like very frantically, and it looks just like black scribbles on from like your vantage point, because it's 8-10 feet up. But if you got a lift, you could probably read it if you wanted to see a little bit closer.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm still like looking through my scrolls. Like,
He gives me a boost.
As
I
your
stand on his
companion-
shoulders.
Sure. As your companion lifts you up, you like squint at the writing, which is very small, but it is similar. It is the same thing written thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of times. It is the word alive.
That's
something
creepy
is
as
living in here.
Also, old Raw Dog's map here says, how are we supposed to know?
I don't think that's the room we're in, though.
It's close to the room we're supposed to know. So
That
maybe
is correct. Someone else take this map. I'm not very good at maps.
something was alive and they didn't know that it was alive, and they maybe stuck it in the ceiling and some kind of magical bullshit.
What happens if I grab the pen?
It just sort of moves in your hand, like it wants to not be in your hand.
Okay, that's fine. Hey, can I get down?
Sure.
Cool. There's no treasure in here. Let's
Do
move
you
on.
leave the pen?
Fuck yeah. I don't care about that.
All right.
I want
the pen
money.
just goes back to writing.
Money, please.
I think I catch wind of what you're doing, and I just call out, "How can we help you?"
The echoes out into the, how can we help you? Help you? Completely silent.
Does the pen stop?
No.
Oh, it just keeps going.
And just the only sound in the room is just the scritching of the pen.
Like I said, no treasure in here. Let's move on.
I go, well, it's worth the fucking try. All right.
Immediately after you two have that exchange, you hear a much louder, much closer bang, as what feels like as like dust comes off the wall that you just kind of crawled through the tunnel, right? That same wall that you were crawling through. Dust comes off of the wall as if whatever made the banging noise was on the opposite side of that wall.
Uh-huh.
It
Where
may
we
be
just
best for
were?
us to keep moving.
Yeah. Let's keep moving. Great.
I think I'm going to cast a shrink spell on the rocks directly around the tunnel to try and cut off the tunnel.
Oh, okay. All right. Make an intellect check.
You'll be able to undo this for us to get out, though, right?
I'm sure there's another exit somewhere. It'll be
Okay.
fine.
Dirty one.
31. Okay. You kind of use your incantations, you move your hand, gesticulate, and then you watch the tunnel just slowly grow smaller, and then until it is about the size of a mouse hole, as it is just like the stones like stretch to fill the space. It's like against basically all things that you would know to be real and physical. This is the realm of magic. So the tunnel is now shrunk for, I believe,
It's one turn.
one dungeon turn.
Do I have a certain number of spells I'm allowed to cast, or is it only I can only have
You can
three
cast
stitched?
You can cast them as many times as you want.
Okay.
You don't have like spell slots, so you can
Got it.
repeatedly cast shrink and large.
Yes, as long as they're stitched, we're good to go.
Yep.
Got it.
Yep.
If they're not stitched, I can do it, but then I
One.
just lose it.
Yes, exactly. Use it and
Cool.
lose it.
I'm going to
Use it and
shrink the
lose it.
shit out of shit.
Shrink the shit out of shit. Okay. So are we moving forward?
Oh, yeah.
I believe so. We are down to one dungeon turn of torches left.
Yes. As you look to the end of this room, you see that there is You see that there are doors on opposite sides of the room. You see that there's one to the left, there's one to the
Mhm.
right.
There's a big X, and it says "What lies within," and then there's another just like random room.
Well, it looks like we want to get to where those question marks are, which
Oh.
people at home don't know what we're talking
How
about.
do we get
but
there? Yeah. Okay.
I
Yeah,
should
our
have made
map
you a
has-
token.
It's okay. My map, I just realized my map on the screen doesn't have like the writing and everything because I did that later, but that's fine.
It looks so good.
We'll
people
take a
at home.
photo for those at home.
Can I go and sort of just like inspect the wall around there, look to see if there's another tunnel situation? Like,
Sure.
Just
As
Get
you
all up
feel your
on it.
way, what are the two of you doing while she does that?
I think I'm reviewing my other scrolls. Oh, could I be stitching a scroll? How does it take to stitch a scroll?
Stitching a scroll takes 12 dungeon turns.
Never mind.
oh shoot.
I think I'm just like watching her.
I will guard the door
Okay.
that
You,
we came through. Yeah.
the
yeah.
tunnel,
Yeah.
the little mouse hole,
The little mouse butthole.
sword at the mouse hole. That sounds sexual. You put your hands to the bookshelves and you sort of feel the
They're
ends of them.
bookshelves, huh?
Yes, there's like shelves that he had kind of looked through, and as you feel against one of them, you can feel a draft behind it. You kind of
I pull that there book out.
scooch the like book out, and you can see there's a little hole, a little pinprick hole, and behind it is open air, not a wall.
You need some enlargement.
Oh, sure. Yeah, that'd be great. Or, yeah, that'd be great. Enlarge that hole there.
I come around and I go, "The great Nunnik Shigam will make this big for you."
Make an intellect check. That's gotta be it.
Oh, that's...
3.
3. Yeah, with your modifier.
Yeah.
No, but you rolled a 6.
But I rolled a 6, yeah.
Oh, you rolled a 6?
Yeah.
That is a critical fail.
Oh, farts.
So,
Can't wait to see what happens.
Does my
Uh,
penis shrink?
I need you
That'd
to
be so
shrink and
funny.
enlarge. I need you to roll a d6 for me as a magic anomaly happens.
4.
You watch as Noddick goes up and says this ridiculous shit. And
So
then
used to it.
points at the hole, and as he does so, what was the roll?
4.
4. Okay, great. You all watch as the space around you grows
Oh,
larger.
fuck. You Honey, I Shrunk the Kids us.
You watch, looking around, as the bookshelves become buildings,
Excellent.
and the stones below you become streets.
Actually, like,
So
books
probably
becoming buildings sounds like so fucking sick. Like,
that sounds
that's just
so
like,
cool. Yeah, 100%.
Wow.
You watch in the distance as the pen goes farther and farther and farther away from you, almost becoming like a distant star as you are shrunk to 10% of your normal size.
I imagine Kandorian is standing there guarding this little tunnel, and then all of a sudden it's like
The tunnel begins to go back to its
Oh,
normal
no.
size.
Shit.
And as you like,
Well, the other
look,
thing isn't
you look
small
and you
like
go,
us.
Oh, and you turn to like tell everyone else, and you see that everything else in the room has also grown.
Nani?
Cool.
You
But can we
say-
get through that hole now that we were trying to make bigger? Can we fit through that hole now?
Yeah, but you have to climb up the bookshelf to get in it.
I
And that'll take like days because it's like a skyscraper.
uh,
I would say you could probably do it in like 3 dungeons.
I have a crossbow. Can I shoot my crossbow? Just like kind of like use it to like rappel, like climb up it,
Grappling hook
climb
it?
up it.
Like a little grappling hook,
Yeah.
like to shoot up there and do it.
Yeah.
I would say you could make an agility check and see if you can make that work.
1.
Okay.
Great. I'm
Great.
agile as fuck.
You pull
Yeah,
out
that
your
4 modifier is clutch.
you pull out your new crossbow
Yeah.
and say a little thieves' prayer to the poor sap who lost it.
No, I
Shoot up
don't.
your crossbow.
Dick.
And listen, you're in my world. Yeah, you shoot a crossbow and it goes up far off in the distance. Realistically, it goes about 4 feet up.
Yeah.
And it hits the very lip of the shelf that you saw the hole and sinks into the wood of the shelf. And
Amazing.
you've got a rope that just sort of dangles down. You tie it up and just
I start
your
going. I
rappel.
kind of look at the boys and I'm like,
All right.
come with me.
See ya.
Yeah.
The three of you have had experience with your illicit activities. We don't have to say burglarizing, but it was something along those lines. All of you know how to use a rope to climb.
Sure.
No tests required. You all just begin to rappel upwards. I don't know if that's actually accurate. Do you rappel upwards or do you rappel downwards?
You
Pretty sure
rappel
rappel
down,
down.
but
We ascend.
yeah.
Our torches would then go out if it's two
Correct.
dungeon turns or whatever. So
Correct.
Well, we
Well-
just lose a torch, right?
yeah.
Yes. Your torch goes out as you sort of are halfway up the rope.
Are we all using a shared torch?
You don't have to. You can each use. You can basically each of you can use a torch, or one of you can use a torch for the rest of you. However, like the size of these rooms, your torchlight is not giving you a ton of light. You're not like
Okay.
it's not.
How many
like
torches do we start with?
5.
Okay.
It's
So we're
not like
down to
D&D
4.
where it's like, oh wow, 30 feet of light. It's more like you light up a torch and it's like you can see about 10 feet in front of you.
And I think we're back to 4
Yes.
on our thing because
Yes.
it was 3.
Yep.
Yeah.
You should all be at 4 torches, and you should be on dungeon turn 7 now, I believe. Right? Once you hit dungeon turn 6, the torch goes out.
Mm-hmm.
Light a new
Yes.
torch. You are now currently on.
But we were
dungeon turn
on 1 when we started the climb. So if it cost us 3,
7. Yeah,
cost
once
us
you get to
1.
the top of it, you're going to be halfway through it.
okay.
So
I'm
you
gonna let you guys track that.
All right.
you guys get to the top of that, spend about half an hour just climbing.
Wow.
And you have this very surreal sort of visual as you like look and you see what looks like a massive canyon spilling out before you, but you know it was just the room you were just in. The room that took you 2 seconds to cross from one side to the other now would take.
I'm experiencing
Days.
like a moment of wonder.
Nani, how long is this going to last?
Oh, it was only supposed to last one turn. So halfway through our climbing, it should go back.
The anomaly lasts a little bit longer.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Well,
So you
let's hustle up through this little hole here.
I've never had this happen before. I'm so sorry for the performance anxiety that clearly happened. I have no idea what's happening. Don't yell at me. Just keep climbing, and
Nani,
we'll
if I
figure
go
it
to
out.
go through this hole and then I become big and I get cut in half, I'm going to be fucking mad, man.
The dead aren't angry, okay?
Bullshit.
It's okay. I'm used to.
We'll
using
talk
it.
about it when you're dead.
You go to the hole.
Small men.
Wow.
Taylor, you climb over the lip first,
Yeah.
and you.
I'll go after Taylor and be like, you can wait out here. That's fine, buddy.
You see the pinhole originally that you could kind of feel air coming through now is like about the size of like a hobbit door.
Great.
You could just crouch low and
Yeah,
crawl through
I
it.
do that.
Okay.
You're
You-
welcome for getting you through that door.
You crouch down and kind of go through the hole and then sort of hold your hand on the bookshelf, just kind of looking, because in front of you is a 6 foot, but for you, basically a 600-foot drop into darkness.
Ah, yes. I forgot about that part.
Hey, can you just like magic us big again?
I could try.
Mm.
Probably should have done that before.
Mm.
It's fine.
Without talking to them
try.
any further, I just go and gather my thoughts with my wand and I go, don't you fucking this fucking time, you son of a bitch. Fucking try again, you fucking piece of shit. I swear to fucking God, you better work.
You can pull the rope that you had originally used as like the grappling hook. You can take it and then tie it off and start climbing down if you would like.
confirm
wait
you
for
saw
them
this
to-
roll.
Yeah.
So as I'm sweet talking my sweet, sweet wand, I roll a natural one
Beautiful.
and I,
What are you
Enlarge
trying-
us all.
Are you trying to enlarge you all?
yes.
Okay.
I try to reverse whatever just happened with the anomaly.
You revert back to normal size. You all quickly sort of like do like a trust.
I say jump!
Yes. You do a trust leap through the little hole.
Fucking Nani! Ah!
And as you sort of like grow, what feel the strangest sense of vertigo, right? You fall and it feels like you're going to fall for a super long time, and then you're suddenly normal sized and you just sort of like
Take a
land
step.
on your knees on the ground.
I imagine it's like when you think there's one more step at the bottom of the stairs,
exactly
and you're like,
Ah.
oh,
Yeah, and then you're just like, ah, and your leg kind of goes like, and you're like,
yeah.
ah! Yeah. You land in a dark space. Ahead of you is a tunnel that
Good.
continues.
Great.
You all have your torches.
Yeah.
Yeah? Yeah. So, yeah, the torch ignites or rather, continues to light the way. And ahead of you, you can see a small square room that is in total darkness. And as you walk inside, you see on the far wall, there's not much else in here, but on the far wall is what looks like a long, like sort of archway inset into the wall. It doesn't lead to anything, but along the archway are runes, just like all speckled along it.
Can I read them?
You can make an intellect check.
Oh, Colin.
2.
2? Great.
Oh, that's fine.
It's great.
Yeah, you look to the runes and you see that it's some kind of like hoity-toity magician speak for basically saying that this is a portal.
Mm.
Where does it go to?
The portal is currently inactive.
Mm.
You would know that through some research you've done, that portals are usually ignited. Something happens, right? You cast a spell to ignite the portal. Usually it has to be the portal spell, but sometimes other ways can.
Maybe a repair spell.
Perhaps.
But I haven't stitched it, so it's a one shot.
Can I throw a dagger at it?
It's not active.
As you're reading your scroll,
Just
seeing
checking.
what this does, Taylor next to you just it goes ding, 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 lands on the floor. Nothing happens.
So it's not like an empty archway. It's just an archway carved into a wall.
Yeah, like imagine like if you were to like walk into a fantasy room with a portal, right? And it's like on the wall, and you could walk through it and go to a different world, right?
Mm-hmm.
Imagine that without the portal, so it's just a brick wall behind it. Basically.
Gotcha.
Oh, wait. I read this in the book once. Friend. Friend.
Make an intellect check.
Don't hurt yourself.
A nat 1.
Oh.
You,
Bro.
for like half a second, you see like a little like glimmer, and you're like, oh, and then nothing happens. You, however, are sparking his understanding, and you kind of figure out that like reading the runes again, the way that it's describing that this is a portal, and the portal, there is some sort of command word that would activate this portal.
What was the guy writing?
Alive.
Alive! I yell, alive!
As you say alive, the portal just like fills the room with
Fucking
prismatic
knew
light.
it.
I loved that we needed that hand holding to solve this very simple puzzle.
Not quite simple.
Do
Fairly,
we see anything through the portal? Is it just like a glimmer?
you see a full room on the other side of the
I walk
portal.
right through it
Yeah, we do.
immediately.
You walk through the portal, and you just through, and you are, for all intents and purposes, on a different dungeon level.
Oh.
So I can choose new spells to stitch in as like auto stitches because we're on a new level.
We'll say that we can do that for now. Usually what you would do is 12 dungeon turns. Like, that's kind of just like you spend the time doing it. But for our sake, I would say go for it, because I want to see what happens. For those of you at home, that's not the real rule.
That was a room,
But I
so
made
we
this game,
rolled
so I
I'm
can do
down
gonna
one more.
take a gamble and go
Wait,
with
wait.
read and comprehend and take away water breathing.
Yeah, that's fine. What do we have to do with our torches, nourishment, and rest die?
So technically it has just been a dungeon turn walking through this, and nothing has really changed. There are certain parts of the game that, like, for example, the stitching of the scroll in his thing, that interact with being on different dungeon levels, but for normal tracking purposes, you don't have to worry about it.
Okay, cool.
There are certain things, like if things are following you and you go to a dungeon level, something might happen. You are in a different level of this tower, and as you review your map, sort of look through it, you see that on the map of the level you are on, there are no stairs on that map.
Mm-hmm.
So, however you got here,
We're smarter than everyone else.
it's however
Way
you're
smarter
Definitely
than
whoever
Raw
left
Dog.
that map for Raw Dog.
You, as you're standing in this room, you feel swirling gusts of air, like a sort of like a strong breeze, even though there are no
Not until
windows.
Mike.
You see a portcullis on the opposite wall from where you just walked through a portal. The portcullis is like half open. So you, like,
peek.
you
Sneak a peek.
You walk over to the portcullis and kind of sneak a peek, and immediately it slams shut.
Well, that's rude.
Can I try to lift it?
Sure.
Great.
Make a might check.
See what
So
you got.
I'm rolling a d6 and subtracting my modifier.
Correct.
1.
You pull the portcullis poles, I guess, out from the ground and sort of like try to lift them up, and then immediately they turn and try to jab at you
Oh, fuck.
as these things come alive in your hands.
Great.
So-
I should just quit touching.
It's all enchanted.
I would need you guys to roll initiative for me, please.
Do we have any modifiers?
You guys could just make an agility check, and then obviously subtract your agility mod as needed.
So 1, dirty 1.
Yeah,
1.
dirty one.
Great. Okay. So as you certainly have a higher initiative than this portcullis that is alive. So who wants to go first?
I don't think I have much to offer here.
I'm going to shrink it.
Okay.
Why
Great.
don't you try to do that again? It'll be so great.
Oh, shit! I roll a 1, dirty 1.
Okay.
Shrink!
You screech at this portcullis as it...
You want to turn down that fire
Yes.
music? I can't hear you.
Loud. Jesus.
It's on the screen.
Oh, great. Okay, yeah.
Tech.
Boom. This is my first time on tech.
You're doing a great job.
Crushing it.
I'm doing my best. You, I wouldn't say great job. You shrink, scream at this thing, perhaps a little bit too eagerly, and the portcullis shrinks in your hands to about the size of like a small toy. The poles just sort of come out of the space that they would have never.
Maybe we should have tried that to begin with. Huh?
They just sort of fall out like pencils in your hands.
Did the music just end perfectly when you said they just fall out?
Pencils.
But this only lasts for a
One
round,
turn.
One dungeon turn.
But we're in combat, so it's 10 seconds.
Yeah. Is there what else is in this room?
Nothing.
Nothing. It's
Did
just
we
an
throw
empty
that
room
dude
and a
into the
portcullis.
door?
Portcullis.
Throw it through the portal.
I'm gonna set it in front of the portal, so when it grows, it's like blocking
Ah, okay.
the
All right.
portal, so
Sure.
that we can't be followed.
Love it.
I like that.
Okay.
So hopefully it'll jam in there.
Sure.
Great.
You
Resourceful.
sort of just
Or are you going to fuck the portal for the rest of us later? They're like, fuck it
Oh,
up.
I thought it was like, I don't
Fuck it up.
understand.
Are you gonna fuck the portal?
Kandorian loves many.
Kandorian, are you
Kandorian don't
fuck
love
the
like that.
portal?
Teach their
You
own.
put the portcullis into the entryway of the portal, and as you all sort of turn around and start going through the now clear entryway, you hear a chunk as the portcullis goes up into the sort of ceiling of the portal, blocking entry and
Nice.
exit
Perfect.
through it. You find yourself
Another room. Torch down.
Yes.
We're down to 2.
You find yourselves in a dark and dusty room. As you look around, you see cloaks of all colors and lengths on the hooks of the walls that are kind of like opposite of you. You also see to your right, like if you walk in and then look along the wall to the right, you see an archway that is open, and then further along in the corner of the room, a door.
I start going through the pockets of the cloaks.
Okay. As you go to grab one of the cloaks, I need you to make an agility check.
Oh, are these cloaks fucking alive? Is everything fucking alive? Oh, it was a nat 1.
You go to grab a cloak, and then the cloak goes to grab you.
But I got a nat 1.
You pull your hand away as the cloaks come alive. The cloaks swing rapidly, just
Right.
and you should
What
roll
happens?
initiative.
What happens if I take my dagger and just
Stab it.
yeah,
Just cut it.
cut it?
I just rolled a nat 1 on initiative.
Oh,
Well,
was I supposed to roll initiative?
He said roll
roll
initiative.
initiative.
Sorry, my bad.
That's okay.
Oh, it's a
We're doing group
6.
initiative, so it's okay. His
Great.
one will work for you.
Great.
Since you're right there, you can go ahead and slash at this
Yeah.
thing. Roll an agility check.
1.
Okay. You daggers deal 2 damage, which is plenty for these cloaks. These cloaks are not exactly the most vigorous of creatures. You slash through one of the cloaks. The cloak just sort of falls to the ground, unmoving. There's probably about 4 or 5 other cloaks here that all promptly stop moving.
Great.
And you sort of point your dagger.
Listen here, you little shits.
Condorian like started to pull out his saber, and I was like, okay.
Mhm.
As you cut this one cloak, you look, and where beneath it had been covered by the cloak sort of drooping down over it, you see a chest.
Boom! I opened that bitch.
Okay, it is locked.
Oh, I picked that lock. Well, okay, I'll try the
I
key.
lockpicked
Key's
that
got to be
bitch.
for something. I try the
You
key,
put
and then when it doesn't work, I pick that lock.
You put the key in, turn, it does not work, you pull it out, make an agility check.
1.
1. The chest opens. Inside, 33 gold pieces,
Boom!
2 torches, unlit,
Ooh.
a ration, and roll a 2d6 for me.
Oh, 2. 6.
6. Okay. Inside, along these other miscellaneous objects that you find in here, you see a pair of strange-looking spectacles. They are completely dark. They have
Sunglasses.
like half moons almost
Fuck
like
yeah.
inlaid in them, and they're built into like black wire frames.
Very fashionable.
Very fashionable.
Very
yes.
like midnight.
Incredibly stylish.
I put them on and go look back into the dark room.
You can see into the dark room.
Yeah, I can, bitches. Those are my new shades.
Yes. These night glasses
Yeah.
are intended to be worn at night.
Oh, I could tell. That was
I
really
wear
well
my
designed.
sunglasses
Thanks.
at night so
Thanks.
I
I
can.
wonder who
Yeah,
wrote
and
that.
you know, Taylor Swift definitely likes her accessories, so
While she's dicking around, I walk through to that door that we can see on the far end of all
I just
this
want to
shit.
say
Very
I'm the
far
only
end.
one that's collected treasure so far.
You are the thief.
Yeah.
You find the door is unlocked and slightly ajar.
I do a little pixie boo.
Okay. As you open it, you see there's a little basically the hallway beyond it goes like 5 feet and then takes an immediate turn to the right. And as you walk that, you look to the right and you see the archway that also leads into the room you were just in.
Oh, tricksy ass shit.
Wait, what?
So basically,
We're in a
room,
loop.
right?
Uh-huh.
There's a archway and a door. He went into the door, went down over here, and then looked, and there's the archway right here. Basically,
So
it's like a
I
little bit
decided
of-
to take this moment to blow everybody's minds and be real sneaky and walk through and try and scare Taylor while she's playing around in the chest.
Okay. As you kind of go up, creepy crawly, you jump out of the archway. Your allies are not there.
Oh. I just travel into another dimension?
Two of
Wait,
you-
what if we go back into the room where they were writing alive, alive, alive? What if we see someone there?
I
I
don't
head that
know.
way.
You don't
Maybe
ask
they're
me.
invisible. Like, are they there but just invisible?
I head that way.
We have to
You-
go
Do
through
we
the
notice
hole that's
anything?
this big.
You notice that Nagan had gone through a door and then went into a hallway and did not come back. Unless you were following him, like, immediately behind him. But he sounded like he was trying to scare you, so it's not like... he
Yeah.
But
was
it's not
still
like
the
he's in
room.
another dimension, per se.
You don't know. For all intents and purposes, you
He's
watched him
just
walk into
gone.
a hallway through a door, and then he just didn't come back.
Hey, Noggin, or whatever the fuck your name is.
Nonixagam!
Nick. Okay, great. Do we hear anything?
You can hear him say "Nanak Sigan" from like
The great Nonixagam!
from like 2 rooms
Sleeping.
away.
From like 2 rooms away.
Yeah, it sounds like he's like a little far away.
Okay.
I'm like, come here, you gotta see this wild magic.
Okay, then I
All right.
follow.
You kind of
yeah.
go around the corner and you go back into the room that you were just in.
And it has the coats and everything.
You see Nagan sort of standing there saying, "Look!" And
Nanak
I'm gonna prod at the
Sagam.
coats.
Are the coats still torn up?
The middle, yep, everything is exactly the same. You walk
Well,
in,
then to us, it's just the same room.
Are we walking through?
Great, Nani. It's the
Fine.
same room. We walked in a circle.
Just follow me.
Okay.
Because to us, we don't not see anything different. So
Okay.
we just walked in a loop. It doesn't matter.
Just follow me. I swear there are things afoot.
You walk into the portal room you had come into, and the portal is not there.
See what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
Something ain't right. Let's keep going.
Where? There's no portal, Nani. We can't go.
Oh, we can't go. Is the portcullis situation still fucked?
There's no portcullis. It's just not there.
Is
the
there?
chest
So there's
still
no
there?
portal
It's still
there.
there. Yes.
Can
There's-
I open the chest and look in the chest? Is there anything in there now?
You open the chest, and inside the chest is a tunnel.
Fuck! Let's go down there.
Okay.
What an exciting turn of events.
You climb in the tunnel, and you sort of just, a tunnel. You
Yeah.
hop down in it. It's like basically like a 5-foot drop, right? Because it's basically a chest that's blocking a hole in the floor.
Yeah.
Sure.
So you hunker down, get in there, start kind of crab walking your way down through this very narrow tunnel, and it eventually deposits you, or
I don't like the word
Almost.
deposits in this sense.
gets you to the edge of a new room, a larger room that
we
has
probably need
a-
to roll our torches
yes,
down to 1.
Yes, yes, it has been a dungeon turn.
I like that you understand all of that because I don't.
We
It's
are
okay.
about to have to stop for nourishment after
Yes.
1 more room, by the way.
I
You
got snacks. I got extra rations.
smell a metallic smell.
Like blood or like
Like more like metal. Like it's
Like-
not
like you've
quite
got
like not like copper pennies. Like in,
yeah.
yeah,
Like dirty chainmail.
You got dirty chainmail on your head. It mixed with like an earthy sort of smell, so like soil and dirt with like kind of like just a pungent sort of metal smell. You also see along these walls, because this room is, let's say, like 15 by like 30, right? It's kind of a rectangle more than a square. As you kind of look to the edges of the room, you see piles of dirt, and you see in them are all sorts of weapons and various other tools that are just sort of like embedded in these dirt piles. all
Anything
around
of
the room.
value?
You see a couple pretty good-looking weapons. I mean, they don't look magical or anything. They just look like they're pretty decent weapons, like an axe. You see a
Here's
spear.
the problem. Anytime we touch anything, it comes to life and attacks us.
I go,
If
don't
not-
fucking touch shit. God
I
damn.
never did.
At the very
I really want to touch it, though.
as you
You
like kind of
fight it.
exit the tunnel, looking into the room, directly to your right is a door. Also,
I just go walk right over to that door like,
Yeah.
fuck that shit. And I try the door.
okay. You go to jiggle the door. The door is unlocked. As you go to push the door open, an agility check, please.
While he's doing that, Kandorian
touch
can't
it?
resist. He goes over
Sure.
and like pulls his saber, puts it on the hilt of the spear, and then tries to grab the spear. So if it starts to move, he's just gonna.
Okay, great. You pull the spear delicately out of the pile, and a couple little pieces of dirt just kind of fall to the ground. And you pull the spear out and you look at it. It's a spear. It's a good spear. Masterwork spear.
2.
Great. I put it on my back.
Perfect. You
Got lucky there.
put your hand as you kind of like swing the door inward. You hear a loud "wing," and then you just pull your hand back as where your hand would have been, a dropping blade just shing, and hits the ground with a loud chink.
Nice.
Don't worry, I can disarm that.
I got those magic hands. I can't lose my hand, so that kind of sets me back a minute. Like,
In the room beyond it, you see a narrow, claustrophobic sort of room.
no, I don't.
Yes, you do, because
Large.
as you walk through, as you sort of like look into it, it's not narrow because the room is narrow.
Oh.
It's narrow because of what's in the room.
Oh.
You see an immense horde fills the room. A horde that lines the walls and floor. You see a 10-foot statue of solid white marble with diamonds for
I
eyes.
thought a horde of monsters.
Yeah, I was like, oh, it's about to get real.
Treasure horde.
Oh.
Hell yeah, finally.
ARG.
Hang on.
Let's
Don't touch
go.
anything yet. Don't touch anything. Let's hear it out.
You see amongst the piles and piles and piles of gold everywhere, you see a 10-foot statue of solid white marble with diamonds for
You're gonna
eyes.
be carrying that, bitch.
I can shrink it.
4 trays of silverware,
Mm.
like fine silverware.
Mhm.
You see packed in like what looks like a case, 3 scrolls. You see a painting of a king, a painting of a princess, and coins. Just miscellaneous coins just in piles all around the room.
How much shit can I shrink in one go?
It enlarges so fast.
So
You-
it has
It'd
to be
get bigger by the time you get back out.
Oh, yeah.
But when we go to sell it, you enlarge it.
Yeah,
Look at this.
yeah,
300 pounds of gold.
yeah.
Yeah, there you go. I like that. I like where we're headed with that. We don't have to carry out old diamond eyes.
Oh, but he's.
I mean,
it
I'm
doesn't
going
count
to, but
as
sure.
encumbrance, it's fine.
Okay, but wait a minute. Don't touch shit. Why don't you throw your spear in there and see if disturbing anything causes...
I just got this spear.
Exactly. Let's use it.
Do
What's
I
the point of a
detect any
spear if you're not going to
traps?
use it?
You can't detect any traps, no.
Hey, as we move into this space, all of our torches go out and we have to light new ones, and we are quite hungry and we need to take a break, a snack.
Great.
I said let's have a snack and strategize
I
before
pass
we
out
just
some
go
fruit snacks.
dive into this treasure hoard.
I love how you two going like at each other,
Beef
like
jerky.
canonically, like Kandori, and is like, why don't we just take a little snack? Why don't, you guys
You're
are
a
not
little
you when you're
hangry.
hungry. You're getting a little hangry.
If there's anything Kandorian knows, never make a decision hungry, okay? We eat, we eat.
Fair enough.
Don't stick your hand in a hole. Don't make decisions when you're angry.
Eating and drinking takes 1 dungeon turn. It takes about 10 minutes just to like eat and drink stuff. Basically, you're just sitting and strategizing. As you look around, you do see the treasure all around you. You've also noticed that at the far end of the room is another door that leads out of this room.
Okay. In our strategy session, the accent is losing me.
You put all your mental energy into saying strategy session in the accent that there was
And
no room for further
Didn't
thought.
think of how that sentence is going to finish at all.
I'm going to touch that statue. I'm just letting you know.
But
Oh,
can we
yeah.
throw a dagger because you got extras? Can we throw a spear?
Come
Can
on.
we throw some shit at the
I'll
problem?
poke it. It's fine.
Okay, give it a little pokey poke.
You poke the treasure. The treasure is treasure. It doesn't move.
Great. We
Great.
put that shit in our bags immediately.
I stand at the door, just
Ready?
I cut the paintings out of their frames and roll up the canvases and
Yep.
like tuck them
Just-
in my tuck
Roll 'em
them.
up.
Take all the
Yep.
like lightest but most valuable items, shove them
Sure.
in my pockets and my bag.
I go straight for the scrolls.
I take 3 of the heaviest items.
Yeah.
Roll
That's
roll
right.
3d6 for each of those scrolls. As you're grabbing the statue, you pick it up and you just heft it. The rest of you are like, wow, Conjuring is pretty freaking strong. You pick this massive, solid marble statue with diamond eyes and just sort of like.
I've been doing the burn boot camp.
You start strapping it to yourself, and as you're doing so, you look down and you see on the floor beneath the statue is a circle of runes.
What?
Oh.
Nani, this is for you, ma'am. Come here.
I don't hear you because I rolled a 13, a 14, and a 5.
13, a 14, and a 5.
I'm
You
gonna
say.
skip what you're saying real quick to get some spells.
Okay, 13. One of the scrolls is invisibility. The
That's
caster
badass.
makes a target invisible for 1 dungeon turn.
1 turn. Okay, invisibility. So 13, 14, and 5.
14 is locate. The caster determines the direction and distance away from an object or creature on the current dungeon level. So basically, you pick an object or a creature and you figure out where it is.
Okay.
You have to name it. You have to know what it is. You can't just be like treasure. You have to be like the marble statue, right?
The diamondized marble statue
Yeah.
in the treasure hoard.
Well, it doesn't have to be
Colonel
locations.
Mustard with the wrench.
Yeah,
I was gonna say the
100%.
raw dog.
Raw
Like,
dog.
we need to find our way
Yeah, if
back.
we need to find the exit, tell me how to get to Raw Dog.
I'm gonna get the raw dog.
5.
Okay.
Nani is confused. He needs to know how to raw dog it.
Finally, charm.
Now he knows his way around a Raw Dog.
Charm. Target
Ooh.
becomes a friend of the caster for 1 dungeon turn.
Love it.
That is good for you because you're so awful. No one wants to be your friend.
Again,
Oh shit.
you
Sorry.
wouldn't be here without me. How
Yes.
am I that awful?
This effect ends if the
Lean back
caster
really
or a
hard on
companion
that
of the
chair.
caster attacks the target. The target will not take actions that would directly contradict its nature. So you can't charm someone and tell them to jump out like a window and kill themselves. Like, it's
That'd be
not
pretty
allowed.
fucked up
Yeah,
anyway.
you can't do that. That's why you
I
can't do it.
don't condone forced suicide.
Yeah, exactly. It's not really suicide at that point. It's pretty much just
Homicide.
Murder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I do condone homicide in this game. Ouch!
What is this? It's a philosophical debate.
Please see our content warning in the description for further information about what we do and do not condone.
Yes.
Okay, great. So you called me over to come read some runes.
Yeah.
So I go,
You make an intellect check, please.
dirty one.
You look at the runes, and as you read, kind of furrowing your brow, you start going around in a circle, walking around in a circle, reading it because it's in a circle. You see that it is a summoning circle.
And I go,
Uh-oh. We don't want to summon shit.
yeah, we don't want to summon shit. Take a step back, please. Everyone,
Can
take
we
3
like
steps
mess up
back.
the runes and then it like doesn't work anymore?
You could certainly try. You require an intellect check. If you want to like carve a line in one of the runes and just like
I'm like, just don't fucking touch them.
yeah. If you were to fail, you
Yeah, just
Yeah.
I go, hey, y'all,
Just back away slowly.
just don't fucking touch the shit, okay?
Okay.
There's a whole room full of treasure.
He already took the statue off of it that was like holding it
I
closed.
told you, don't touch that fucking shit.
so
It's strapped to my back.
You're still like ratcheting those ratchet
you're like one of
straps.
those people in like that YouTube, like a YouTube video or something that just like cut down a whole tree and like has it on their back.
Yeah.
You're just like,
Can we
And I
just-
go, can you just put some gold
we
in your
just
fucking pocket? Can we get out of
just
here?
fucking book it? Yeah.
Let's
Are
go
you
to that door
okay. So as
across
you,
the room.
yes, as you go to the next door, you find that it is locked.
Try
Good
your
news.
key.
Try my key.
You try your key and it does unlock.
What the fuck? I
You're
look
right.
at it and I'm like,
You hear a satisfying,
Noise.
Hell
very
yeah.
deep, like chunk. As
I ready
lock
my put to
triggers.
sleep spell.
that's probably Hazar's office or whatever the guy's name is that has the tower.
Good old Hazar, we love that guy. You,
Love that guy.
He's in there jerking off.
peek
Watch
in the
out.
And, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's what I wrote. That's why I yeah, he's just jerking it in there. It's fucking weird, dude.
Please say you didn't.
I
I don't want to be right. I don't want to be right.
This is what you wanted, Colin. This is what you wanted.
No! I
Not
take
like
it back.
this, not like this.
I'm not funny. Stop.
Nani, stop with the enlargement charm. Stop it.
I'm opening the door.
Yeah, you push the door open as the two of them get up to shenanigans, and you see stone floor, stone walls, and a dais in the center of the room, sort of like a circular dais that's maybe
That's
like
suspicious.
a foot above
Uh-huh.
the floor.
Suspicious.
There are 4 torches on the dais, like in a circle,
Uh-huh.
and then embedded in the stone, in the center of it, is a staff.
See, I want it, but also I don't want to summon. I just want to get out. We've got the treasure.
You look along the walls and you see that there, on all 4 walls, there's a door. So
Okay, I go over to the doors. I'm not touching that fucking
I go
thing.
back and fill all of my pockets and bag with gold while
Yep.
they're deciding what doors they're
We've
doing.
already done all of that.
I haven't, so I just
start
I'm noting I did
shoveling
that.
gold in.
Is
And,
there
like, shit's about to get
anything
fucked.
without like approaching it that we can discern about the
The
dais?
staff is gnarled. It sort of like hooks over itself, and like almost like a teardrop. There's a green gem that hangs.
Do you remember the legends of this place where he was taking magical objects and trying to, like, suck up its power? What if the objects sucked up the people instead, and that's why they're all like...
I told you he was into that kind of shit.
I just love
Anyway,
sucking, says Mazar.
The point is, this is probably a very valuable magical object, but we probably don't want to touch it. And let me just check these fucking doors to see if we can get out of here with the treasure that we have.
You
So-
make a good point.
If you're like looking in from
Yeah.
where you walked in, to the right there is a door that is unlocked. Ahead there is a door that is locked. To the left, there's a train that leaves Chattanooga Station at 9 a.m. And once it gets there, there's another train leaving St. Louis. No, there's another door that is unlocked. On the
Oh
left.
god, that threw me for a loop.
Yeah, just the way you were all dead serious and then like, wait.
So we've got two unlocked doors on either side, and then one locked ahead of me.
Correct.
Okay. Well, they can explore the unlocked ones. I'll go to the locked one and
I'm not doing that.
try to,
Sure. Jimmy it.
yeah.
Okay.
You go try the
Well, I'll
unlocked
use
door.
the key first,
Okay.
even though I think that we all know what it was for.
You use the key on the door and you hear a satisfying chunk as that door also unlocks.
That's right.
As you peer into the room just briefly, you smell old books, and then your torch immediately goes out.
Good thing I'm wearing my night glasses.
You look
Oh,
inside.
they've always been on, Nate.
Oh yeah,
They're
you
a
just
great
kind of
accessory.
push them up and just
Yeah.
walk in.
Yeah.
You look inside and you see the walls are completely lined with old maps of distant locales, many of which you're not even familiar with.
Oh,
Cool.
What
I
places
roll
you-
those up and put them in my bag along
Sure.
with the.
Sure.
yeah.
You see scribbled notations on some of the maps and everything. Pins and threads connect all these different pieces of paper. And then on the sort of far wall, you see a similar portal.
Oh.
What's Kandori doing right now?
Kandorian had to take off his chainmail because it was destroying his ears, so I'm not actually sure what everyone else is doing.
She's in a room playing with maps.
Okay.
I was gathering treasure,
Then
and
there's another portal.
she kind of like encouraged you to try doors.
So yeah, so there's the dais in the middle with the staff. We all agreed, don't fucking touch that.
Right.
We did not all agree to not fucking touch that.
Colin. So I went straight ahead into his office, basically.
Okay.
There's a portal in there, and then on either side there are 2 doors. What I'm thinking is we use the portal to like get out.
Yeah.
He doesn't know that because he's not in that room with
Right.
you.
So I'll go just peek in the door to the right.
As you peek in, you see what looks like a bedroom. You kind of look inside, look around. It's completely dark, but you kind of pull your torch in, and you can see that there are candles, like extinguished candles, all over the place.
Okay.
There are piles of books, scraps of parchment on every writable surface. So just like every desk, every like flat surface, there's just like stacks and reams of parchment. You also see that a large bed sits in one of the corners of the room. seemingly untouched, completely made.
Anything of notable value?
As you look around,
I'll step in if I need
Sure,
to
yeah,
like,
yep.
yeah.
You look around and you sort of look at the scraps of paper. Many of them are just like illegible. They're completely just like very small, like 6-point font, like notes, basically. Just like this guy's like,
Yeah,
you know,
They're dream journals that make no sense.
yeah.
all the way back to the future. Like, what? What does that mean?
A flux capacitor. Where are we gonna find one of those?
Under the pillow, however, as you sort of look at the bed, you kind of like rip the covers, expecting there to be someone there. Nothing. You pull the pillow. Underneath the pillow is a spell book, a grimoire. You look inside of it. Make an intellect check.
Oh, my strong suit. 3.
What's your intellect mod?
Well, so I rolled a 4, and my intellect mod is 1.
Okay, so you failed.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying. Great. So virtually anything that's not a 1, you're going to fail.
Yeah.
I got it. Okay, so unless it's a critical success. You look at the book, you kind of like just none of it makes any sense to you. It might as well have been written in a completely different language. Most of it is actually in a completely different language.
I mean, I'll pocket it nonetheless.
Okay.
While he's doing that, I am eyeing that staff in the middle of the room and just like stroking my beard, wondering. A magician's staff with such a beautiful gem. It's so fascinating. So I take my staff and I just give it a little tappy tap to see what happens.
Okay. You tap it and it kind of like it's not like solid in this.
So I give it a little bit of a harder
You
whack.
give it a little tap, it goes, and all 4 of the torches waver at the same time.
I cast Shrink
On the staff,
on the staff.
it is a magical item.
Oh, so I can't cast Shrink. I'll cast Put to Sleep.
Oh, okay. Sure.
And I rolled a dirty 1.
Dirty 1. All right. You kind of think in your head, perhaps, and then you put your finger to the staff, cast, put to sleep, and all of the torches go out.
Great. So great. So good.
Mine included.
No, yours is still
Okay.
lit. The other 4 torches on the dais go out.
So they go out.
Yep, the staff is still there.
Noni, what the fuck are you doing out there?
And I reach and I grab hold of the staff and I lift up and pull it back towards me.
You pull the staff, nothing happens.
And I go, what are you doing? I've just got a cool new staff. What do you got in there?
You touched the staff?
I put it to sleep first. Don't worry about it.
I'm in his office. How long does it stay asleep?
24 turns.
Oh, let's go.
Exactly.
Okay, great.
Pretty smart.
Great.
Pretty smart.
Great. So there was one more room?
Yes.
That we
The other
haven't
room.
touched.
I just kind of like put my head out into the main room and I kind of am like, this is his office. It's pretty cool. There's a portal in here to probably hopefully maybe get out if we can figure out how to use it.
Is
But
it
there's
active?
one more room.
It's not active. It's very similar to before.
It's okay, we probably have to say alive or some shit.
Kandorian like goes to poke his head out to talk to everybody, and the statue like bonks on the door frame. Oh fuck! Like ducks it.
So wait, there's a room we haven't
There's
touched.
one more room that you guys haven't touched, yeah.
I'll go check out what's in this room.
Okay.
I'm feeling pretty confident.
Sure. You go up to
Probably
the
a
door.
problem.
It is a stone door, unlike the other doors that you've been encountering so far have all been wood. And as you go to the door, you sort of just like push it, and it does open easily, as though not catching on the floor or anything, just like a silent open. And what lies in front of you is a pretty horrific scene. You see a bloody mess. Dark black streaks mar the floor and walls, very similar to the room that you had seen before. In the center of the room is a sort of circle of runes, just like in the middle of the room, like smack dab.
Like a summoning circle.
It's about, from your vantage point, it's difficult to say. You see a skeletal arm just like laying in the middle of the portal, as though whatever had happened here, this is what remains.
That's a no from me. Let's go check out this like fun portal. Over
Okay, is your
here.
portal going to lead to there, though?
Fuck no! It'll lead to wherever we want. There's so many maps.
Yeah, it's like a summoning circle. It's not a portal.
Okay.
I mean, is there anything of
you're
value?
the
in there?
magician.
I'll let
You want to
you...
fuck with it?
I'll
There's-
go repair
There's
that
nothing
other...
of value in the room with the arm. However, there is the sort of nagging sensation in the back of your minds that, while these are all beautiful treasures and certainly worth their weight in gold, are they relics? Are they magical relics?
The one he's got is a magical relic.
Certainly is. But is this what the legend was? Is this what Mazar took?
The fuck, GM? Do you want?
I
us to
don't
go
know.
in there?
You can
You
leave.
want us to go in there?
You can leave and get your money and go.
I mean, I want to get my money and go.
By all means, by all accounts.
I see them and go, yeah, let's go back to that other portal. And as they turn to go there, I walk right into that room.
Sure.
Wait, what are you doing? Sorry, I was.
I'm walking right into that room at hopefully distracting you to go the other way. And I'm like, I'm going to catch up with you. You can do whatever you want. but
right
I'm
into
like,
what room?
The room,
The
with,
room with
arm.
all the dead bodies
The room with-
and the summoning circle.
So to make a correction, there's blood streaked everywhere, but the only remains of a body is just the one skeletal arm in the middle. Of
I don't go to
rooms.
the middle of the rooms.
Okay.
I just go check out everything else in the room.
You look along.
I'll hang out by the door.
You look along the walls, and there's just tattered, tapestries, and just it looks like whatever was in here that perhaps was once immaculate and showcasing Mazar's great intellect or his sensibilities when it
Items.
comes to lives or luxury and whatever else is just completely demolished and destroyed. Some sort of thing happened here. But other than that, there doesn't seem to be anything worthwhile beyond the runes, which even from a distance you can read. And they are not summoning runes, they are teleporting runes. So summoning would be to bring something to
Am I able to tell where they teleport to or from?
you can make an intellect check. Try to see if it's
31.
You look towards the runes, and as you kind of go in a circle around trying to figure out what they say, they don't particularly point to a place that you are familiar with. However, certain parts of the runes you recognize are more localized than far away. It doesn't go somewhere miles and miles and miles away. It goes somewhere relatively close.
So it's probably like that treasure hoard room, or the rooms we missed in this place, where there's more treasure to be hidden. I
Or-
decide I'm going to gamble and
Mhm.
see where these take me. And I go and I step into the middle of the circle.
I put out a hand to stop him before he's able to step into the circle.
Okay.
I'm literally just
agility
standing
checks-
at
agility
the
checks from the
door
two-
of
both
the
of you.
office,
All right.
watching this happen. No.
All right, so I rolled a 3. I subtract my agility modifier.
Yes.
1.
2.
Able
puts
to halt him.
arm in front of you just as you're about to walk in. He says, "Oh, take it away."
Noni, is this perhaps where, what's his name? Hazar?
Mazar.
Mazar?
Mazar, yeah. Mazar.
Perhaps this is where Mazar tried to channel all of those artifacts into himself.
Exactly.
It didn't go well.
There's an arm left.
Perhaps we can undo it and release those who are trapped.
Let me go. Let me find out what I can do.
Fuck it, okay.
But wait a minute.
Just toss that stuff you got in there.
I'm going to bring the staff with me. Is there anything that you might have on you that would help me out? Anybody have anything that you can give me as I go on this journey? Anything that would help a magic caster?
No,
On a
but let
perilous
me
journey?
hold your pack there with the gold.
Oh,
Yeah, you
because
can
of
hold the gold.
grimoire.
I'm trying to get your fucking grimoire that I know about that I should know about.
Oh yeah. Hey, buddy, I found this a book.
Oh, shit, yeah. See, I got this. I got my grimoire. I got a magic staff. And, Azar wasn't shit.
as you say that, the two of you are in the room with him.
Where'd you go? Did you stay or did you go?
I'm literally like, my hand is on the door to the like office, and I'm watching this happen, and I'm like, you fuckers! Like,
Are you just gonna try to go through the portal?
You like watch from
No.
afar, just like these two can't possibly be this stupid, and as if the building itself was responding to your question, the arm kind of just like, and then immediately moves up and tries to grab the staff off of you.
Oh.
So I need you to make an agility check, please.
Love that.
2.
You both are grabbed onto it. The arm is grabbed onto it. You are grabbed onto it. You're both like tugging. Initiative from the two of you.
Yeah. Wait, not me. 'Cause
Unless you want to.
Do we
You're not-
modify it?
yeah, I mean, I'm gonna get into like, yeah,
5, unless we modify it.
Mm-mm.
4.
2.
4? 2. Okay. So since you're in a different room, you'll have to move into the room to do that. But the arm. 3. The arm is going to try to yank the staff out from your hands. So, might check.
My modifier is
So
1.
strong.
I rolled a nat 1.
Wow, great! You yank back. You yank back,
Like, not today, Satan!
and the arm tries to
Mazar.
like the arm just like
Not
really
today,
tries to move.
Mazar!
Not today, Mazar. And that's going to be its turn. So the three of you can obviously move into the room because you're faster.
Yeah, I run into the room.
As you do so, you got a 4, right?
Yeah.
We're going to switch to like kind of more singular. Just so
Yeah, he beat me, so it'd be like him, me, her, because she's
Yep.
running in.
Kandorian draws his saber, leaps forward with a slashing attack.
Okay. Roll a might check.
Nat 1.
Whoa!
Wow.
There's a lot of nat
great.
ones.
Yeah.
So
I mean, a 1 in 6. You know, it's better than a 1 in 20.
I guess, yeah, that's great.
sword does 3 damage. You hit the arm, and despite your mighty blow, the arm still stands or floats, I guess, in this particular case. It is damaged, but it still is there.
I rolled my put to sleep spell, intellect, and I got a nat 1.
Okay.
Jeez.
All right.
Love it.
You point at this arm and just sleep, and the arm droops, hangs limp, and just kind of is clutched onto your staff, but it's sort of just hanging there.
And I pry its cold, dead fingers off the staff and go, "This is mine, bitch." And I throw the arm across the room.
Okay. You toss the arm across the room, and it lands in the corner of the room with a clatter, and then you hear what sounds like a loud boom, and then what sounds like coins hitting walls as something has arrived in the other room with a summoning circle.
And I say, well, thanks for taking care of that. That was about to get messy. Can we fucking go now?
I go, "Yeah," and I immediately run to the other portal like, never mind,
Yeah.
I give up.
Yeah.
Okay. You run back into the room where the staff was, just as the door that leads to the treasure hoard explodes inward.
Excellent.
And you watch as something strange lumbers in.
Yeah.
You see
You motherfucker.
a
I swear to
collection of objects through magical means that have fused together.
God. Yeah.
You see a broom, a shovel, you see
Yeah.
like a chest, you see like
That's the
cloak
big
hooks.
bad. Uh-huh.
You see an amalgamation, a massive construct, whirls into the room. The objects start swinging around it. Initiative, please.
5.
1.
A nat 1.
2.
Natty 1.
Okay. Endorian, go ahead.
Kandorian sprints across the room, his feet as he draws his spear.
Yes.
And
Ooh.
launches his spear as he's running.
Oh, you gonna throw it?
Yeah.
Epic.
Okay, agility check then, please.
Okay, so 4 minus 3, 1.
Okay, yeah, you throw. Spears do 4 damage, I believe. Spears do 4 damage, yes. The spear embeds itself in this thing, and it doesn't make any noise. It just sort of like the spear just chunk, and you see objects fall off of it, and they just go inert.
Okay.
As this thing just like lumbers in. You can hear a loud groaning noise from just the weight of it
Yeah.
as you're running towards it. That is an action. You're moving. Do you
Yeah.
want to get like right up to it?
Yeah, I think there's 2 more quick steps.
Yep. And
I draw my saber in a wide, like, feigning arc.
Yep.
You
And
get
then I
3
stop and
hits.
do like a lunge.
Great.
Right towards the torso.
Okay. Might check, please.
Nat 1.
Okay. All right.
That's a good die.
So, nat 1, like
Kiss
you
it.
rolled a 1?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you roll a 1 beforehand? It was a 4 minus.
It was a 4 minus 3,
Great.
so it was a dirty one.
Okay. So, sword does 3 damage, so 6 damage because it's doubled.
Okay.
It's a critical hit. You slash and you see like an armoire just sort of like fall to the side and just
Like the
kind
Beauty
of
and the Beast one.
collapse.
Yeah.
And you just like wide swing. This
Wait, are
creature
these
just
people?
like looks down
Sorry,
and you
Mrs.
see
Potts in there?
what looks like maybe like a crystal ball and then another sort of like a globe or something like peer down at you as if they're this creature's eyes. And you can make another attack if you'd like. You've made 2.
Yeah, I think in my attack I kind of like slide by, under, beyond it, and then just a lunging
Sure.
jab from behind.
Oh no.
Ooh, that's a 6.
Oh!
You swing, do a lunge, and you stab your sword too deep, and it goes to the hilt. And then you like go to like you feel and you pull, and it's stuck.
Nah.
And you pull again, and you like look up at this massive creature that's like peering down at you like a weird like alien.
Yeah. Hey, for no reason, what room were all those weapons in?
They were at the room before the treasure hoard room.
Okay.
Good to know. Good to know.
So what was the other?
It'd be her
initiatives?
turn next.
Okay, hit it.
Oh,
Oh,
what are the
I forgot.
objects doing that? Oh, the jams. What are the objects doing that fell off of the creature?
They are completely inert.
I pick up one of them
Mhm.
to just. Does anything happen?
No.
No.
It is completely inert.
Okay, I drop it because it's fucking useless, and I throw my daggers at it.
Okay. Make an agility check, please.
1.
1. Great. Okay. So you throw your dagger, which deals
No, daggers.
daggers. Okay. You're gonna have to make a roll for the daggers, multiple daggers. Well, how many are you throwing?
I'm gonna do 2.
Okay, we'll just do it as one attack. You're just kind of like doing the cool thing with them
Yeah.
between your fingers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
How's that go again?
And deals 4 damage as this dagger goes ching ching into the globe eye,
Yeah.
looking down, and it goes and like kind of looks around. That is an attack, so you don't get multiple attacks, and
Nope.
you can move wherever you want to move. Though.
Okay, and then I run to the office area just to sort of like see if I can get the portal working for like a quick escape.
Sure. You run into the room and say alive, and nothing happens.
Great.
Try friend.
I mean, I assume I don't want to waste a ton of time during combat. So.
Sure. You run into the room and say alive, just as
Put to sleep. And I roll a dirty 1.
okay. You say put to sleep on this creature, and it just stares at you.
Like it's stopped, or like it was unfazed.
Like it was unfazed.
And I go,
Magical in it.
fuck. And then I run into that other room,
With
and
me.
I try to do the repair on that portal. Repair
Wow.
spell.
Okay.
Dirty 1.
Well, we're gonna wait because you rolled.
Okay.
You cast the spell on the first time, so that's gonna be one action, and then
Go ahead.
So, the creature is going to make an attack against you.
Yeah, I figured.
You watch as a sort of lumbering arm goes up, and then just comes down, and it is going to be actually you roll a d6.
Am I like evading?
Yes,
Is it agility?
yes.
All right, so I rolled a 3. I have a 3 agility modifier.
So
Oh.
just a 1.
Yeah.
Okay. So it swings down. You sort of duck out of the way. Your saber is still stuck in this creature.
Yes.
You sort of duck and roll, and then it just pulls its arm up again and it just goes to strike again. So make another agility check.
I'm just rolling around on the floor. 2.
2. Okay. You narrowly escape as the next blow comes down and you see the cobblestones kind of go skittering along the floor.
Yeah.
You are now kind of away from this creature, not near it, but you can see your saber sort of just glinting, stabbed into it.
And my spear, too, huh?
And your spear is stabbed into it as well.
Yeah, okay.
Beautiful.
Is it my turn?
It is your turn.
All right. Kandorian wants to run forward and make like a leaping grab for the spear.
Okay. Make an agility check.
It's a 6.
Beautiful.
It's so sad because it's also like you have your modifier is good, but
Yep,
You
yep.
leap for the spear, and as you airball it, right? You're like trying to like Superman it. You go out, and I need you to make an agility check, please.
Nat 1.
That
Ooh.
one.
It's all or nothing over here, baby.
You like put your arm out, and as you go to grab it, you immediately kind of do like a duck, like pull yourself inward, almost like a ball, as this like another arm comes out from the side just to like swipe you in midair, and you are hit, but you kind of duck and roll on the floor, and you take 2 points of damage.
Okay.
That's not bad.
Yeah, that
Hey, that's the first
How many hit
damage.
points do you have?
3.
Yeah.
that would have well, it would have been a lot worse had you actually not succeeded.
But I'm saying that's the first time anyone's taken damage in the game so far. That's not bad.
How is this thing like the objects that have been knocked off it? Is there like a percentage? Like I'm like, oh yeah, like
Sure.
this thing is I've done a significant amount of damage, or is it like
Yeah.
you've
I would say if you were to look at this, if you were to look at this and like how many objects are on this thing, right?
yeah.
And let's say 45 objects were on this thing,
Okay.
right? You've taken about, let's see, like probably close to like 11 objects off of it.
Okay. Okay.
I think you just said it has 45 hit points.
yeah.
If 45 were 100,
I think escape is probably the route that we want.
I think
Let's
so.
Can I take the key to the portal? and
you just sort of like jam out the portal and nothing seems to happen.
I mean,
Okay, I get in there and I rolled a dirty 1 to repair the portal.
or
Okay.
read it or something.
You, as you're sort of like trying to
Open
like,
the
what
grimoire,
the hell?
man. Yeah.
You see Gone just cast repair on it and nothing seems to happen. This portal is not in non-working order, it's just off.
By the way, I can't do repair ever again because that was not stitched. So I open up Mazar's grimoire and I peruse furiously, attempting to find anything that might help me with this here portal.
Sure. Make an intellect check. In your turn, because we are still in combat,
Oh,
you're going to be able to...
That would not have been
right on the
a
edge.
feeble attempt.
I'm not counting it. I re-rolled.
Sure.
I rolled a dirty 1.
A dirty one?
It would have been a.
Nat
Nat
1.
one.
But
Now
now
we
the
would've
re-roll
gone-
is a
that's
dirty
that's not so
1.
bad.
We would have gone with my little.
You
help.
flip through the book, you go through pages and pages, and then at the very back of the grimoire are 4 spells. What you only are able to read one of them on your turn because you're just quickly flipping through this as a massive construct is smashing the place next to you. And you flip through and you see one of the pages is Altar Stone. Meanwhile, the creature.
The creature.
As you sort of duck and
I
roll,
love the music.
you hear a sort of loud smash as this creature just sort of like walks towards you, but the way it walks is like it moves and like appendages come out of it to walk. So like it moves and then behind it its leg kind of goes back into itself and then comes out like it's like some sort of like
It's like a dragging, smashing.
yes, it is mindless would be one way to put it. And as it reaches forward, it pulls up a massive arm, and you can see a wardrobe in it, just like a massive 8-foot wardrobe that it just tries to slam down on you. So make an agility check, please.
I like how we're just letting the warrior just go through it.
2.
Narrowly escape. You duck, kind of continue your momentum. You do another somersault.
Just
out of the
barrel
way.
rolling like a...
Yes.
Yeah.
You're just rolling around in this room, just somersaulting, not able to catch a break as another blow comes after the first one. So another agility check, please.
Nice.
1. A dirty
Okay.
one.
You move to the side as this creature just brings the fist down on the dais, and you hear a loud crack that you look down and you see from the center of the dais to one of the walls a long crack has formed on the floor.
Okay. Alright. Listen, monster, if you need me to, like, romance a beast and fall in love, there's a rose or something, like, I will do it. It's fine. Just chill, man.
It is your turn, so
What are you doing to this monster?
Listen, monster. Monster is a harsh term. I take that back. Friend, let's talk this out. Maybe we can figure something out. What do you need?
the beast turns, looks to you,
Remember
and then just
mindless.
comes over to you with like big swinging, flailing arms, like a automaton, just coming towards you.
Can
You
I...
can see from where you're currently rolled to. You can see literally, not with the dice, but literally you've rolled to this point. You can see the treasure room is unblocked by the creature now.
Okay.
And you can see the portal room where your companions are in is also nearby. So you could make it to one of those rooms if you ran to it.
Can I see that they do not have the portal active?
I would not say you can at this point, because you're basically on the other side
Sure.
of the wall.
Okay. Then
They have not shouted for you.
I
am
did.
going...
I told them earlier.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah. But you, like, called for me to go there, right? Like, let's go.
Or did you say
I
we're
think
gonna...
I said there's a portal. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going to run over to the portal room.
Okay. You run over to the portal room and you see two very frustrated people, a thief and a magician, frantically trying to figure out how to make this thing work. You see your companion just like flipping madly through a book. And
Can I close the door?
yes. Yeah. You close the wooden door.
Noni, shrink it!
Oh. So I'll turn around and shrink the entrance, not the door, but the entire wall around it.
Sure.
Nat 1.
Okay. Yeah. The door down to
Oh my god, the music cue just
Yes.
ended
and
so
the
perfectly.
stones sort of stretch to like fill the space, and you just sort of like back away.
Hey, good job. Now, get the portal going.
So altar
You have
stone.
one job.
Okay, altar stone. Am I going to use that to alter the wall of the portal?
As you read further
Yeah.
into the spell, Alter Stone, the caster can change a 10-foot span of stone, any shape, into any other material, such as dirt, sand, glass, etc. The new material cannot be a material that would cause damage on touch, such as lava or acid.
Sure.
We did water. We could walk
Then
through
we
water.
would drown.
We just walk
I
through water.
unstitched water breathing recently. Yeah. So I have a portal. We have a stone wall. Do we have any sense of like what level we're on? Are we in the basement or are we on the main level?
It is unclear to you.
Oh.
You can, as you look through the rest of the book, now that you sort of like have a moment to sort of like read, you see that there are 3 other spells in the spell book. You see that one of them is water breathing, which you kind of curse silently under your breath. The next one is repair.
Son of a bitch.
And then finally, the last one is portal. And you smile as you look up at your friends just as the wall, bang, and the dust comes off the wall. All the books on the shelves also fall off. The wall looks badly damaged, and you see a large crack on the wall.
Get us out
As
of
that
here.
happens, I turn to
You see the
Taylor.
little tiny door on the floor just like...
Taylor, I seem to be a little light on weaponry. May I borrow?
Oh yeah,
A
I give him
dagger?
2 of my daggers. I still had
Thank
4. 2 of them I assume were stuck in the eyes of the other
Yes.
guy, but yeah, I give you 2. I keep 2 for myself.
Okay.
Sharing
Thank
is
you.
caring. Yeah.
Portal!
Would you roll?
Dirty 1.
Beautiful. You cast the spell Portal, which reads, the caster opens a portal to any previously visited room in the dungeon. The room may be on a different dungeon level. The portal remains open for 6 dungeon turns. However, this is slightly changed.
I
because
open it to Raw Dog.
You are using it on an already existing portal space. So, like, if you were to just use portal, like, willy-nilly, you
Sure.
could choose it. So, if you would rather
Oh.
do that, you can.
Yeah, I think I just go, oh, fuck that noise. And I come over here and I go,
Portal!
Portal to Raw Doggin!
Great. You,
Let's get straight to it.
you-
The raw dog.
Let's get straight to the raw dogging. You heard
No
it
more
here first.
foreplay. Let's get to Raw Dog as fast as we can.
Oh, no.
You open a portal and you see Raw Dog in like the corner of the room, just like burnt on top of a dagger that's like still trying to feebly like get out from under it. You see the open door in front of you, leading outside. Back where you
I
came.
just start fucking
Yeah,
running.
we just run.
You all run outside into the fresh air.
As I'm about to exit, the statue hits the doorway again. Clunk, clunk.
You run outside and you look back and you see Mazar's tower. You see, looking up at it, you see that there's just one floor. Just the floor that you walked into. Like, the rest is collapsed.
Oh.
You'd noticed it beforehand, so you had figured, well, there's only one floor. And then you saw the map and you saw there was no stairs. It made sense. But obviously something is afoot here.
Yes,
You
yes, it
walk
is.
outside, you kind of all panting, breathing. You look back at the tower and you hear faint banging noises, but you're not sure from where, and you don't linger to find out.
No.
No.
The 3 of you begin a long trek home.
Another great journey for Noni, Taylor, and Kandorian.
My glasses look so fucking cool.
It is bright as shit.
It's great because I'm like,
I'm trying to find the
Wearing my
nearest
sunglasses.
wizard spell shop to get rid of this fucking staff as soon as possible.
Yes, the 3 of you spend a certain amount of time offloading your goods, offloading your valuables, and you offload the staff on some unwitting, not rival, that seems like a bit too much credit to them, but a poor sap that you know who's
Yes.
aspiring to be a magician. Give them the staff. It'll be fine. You sell the marble statue to a duke who buys it immediately. You make quite a pretty penny off of that. All said and told, with all the gold you guys got, everything you walked away from, you get probably about, let me just double check on something really quick. There's some rolls I need you to really quickly make. 46. 10d6.
I'm gonna need some more D6s.
Add them all up together, by the way. So, like, add your 46 and then add your 10d6. Not
13.
together, but 13?
Yeah.
So, the statue alone nets you 1,300 gold pieces.
Okay.
That's not including all the treasure and the gems and the coins you got, which is probably upwards of that range, so like 1,000.
what about the paintings and stuff?
You sell the paintings to a long-lost kin of the king that is on the painting. You kind of track it down through some sources, some networking that you do, and you find someone who's very, very keen on buying these paintings. They are willing to pay you. Roll 66.
That big ass statue was the least valuable thing?
25.
25? Okay. So you sell the paintings, the pair of them, both of them together, for 2,500 gold pieces. You sell them to the person. You kind of bid your farewell. As you're leaving, they burn the paintings.
Wow.
That's fucking badass.
I rolled a 28.
28. You sell the staff. The staff itself is not worth too much. The person you pawn it off on doesn't really know what its value is, and you can't tell them what it does. So you just give it to them. They pay you, 1,000 for it, like pretty exorbitant funds for that. The grimoire, on the other hand, do you keep that or do you sell that?
Oh, I keep that shit.
Okay, great. The rest of the treasure that you make, though, is about 2,000 gold. So, all said and done, you've got quite a bit of stuff. You had also taken a few things. Did you get your weapons back?
I didn't get my weapons back, no.
That's a
I
shame.
got pearls, and then I got what was in the chest, and the maps. I don't know if the maps have any value.
The maps have no value.
I decorate my room with them,
Yes.
along with my posters of my other
When you
favorite
go
pop,
to get them
pop singers.
appraised, most people are like, these are not real places, and they don't want to buy them because they figure that you just like drew maps and said like, hey, look, do you want to buy some cool maps? And they're like, no.
Sounds like our next
Fair
adventure is exploring the forgotten realms of the hidden map.
Oh, you can't say Forgotten Realms,
Yeah.
actually.
I can't say that. Sorry, Wizards of the Coast, we did it again.
The unknown regions.
Yes. Elsewhere, far away from here, on a tower overlooking the sea, in a space far away from here, you see the first floor, you see the old raggedy body of Raw Dog just in the corner of the room forever. He's just there forever.
Mm-hmm.
You see the teleporter. We go through the teleporter, or the portal, we say, and then you see the coat room that you had gone through, the treasure room. You see the amalgamation wandering the halls of this place, and then we go to the teleporter room, and we go through that. We see a new space, completely dark space, devoid of any life, and then through a wall, we see nestled like beautiful treasures embedded in what looks like a piece of silk that has a cosmic sort of visage to it. 6 objects on this little silk object. They are all marble white and they glow with starlight and they fill the room with all this different iridescent color. They linger there for whoever knows how long until someone foolish enough comes to grab them. Wasn't the 3 of you. 3 of you made off with some treasure and some jewels and
a great experience.
and nobody died. For the first time in Tabletop Rocks history.
Yeah.
Nobody died.
That's
Hey!
crazy.
I have no alcohol
To
left.
not-
I'm kind of sad.
Wow.
This has been Dungeoneering. I hope that you enjoyed it. I certainly did. I ran a lot better than I thought it would, which is saying something. But other than that, if you want to follow us on our YouTube channel or our TikTok or anything, we have all the information down in the thing down there. I don't know. I'm sure it's down there. Other than that, next month we've got Lasers and Feelings, which are
Chuck's gonna.
resident bonehead warrior guy who actually was not quite of a bonehead this time.
Yeah, no, he did pretty well.
Yeah. I feel like your warriors do generally pretty well.
Yeah. I tend to just barge
Do
into
it.
things and then it works out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's
Yeah.
a philosophical statement in there somewhere, I'm sure, but we can look past that. But that's it for tonight. Thank you for watching. Thank you for sticking around. There's information, like I said, down below if you want to take a look at Dungeoneering. We've got free rules for that. We're also going to be putting this adventure on our itch.io account. If you want to take a look at that, it's Tabletop Rocks, .itch.io, I believe. It's down there. You'll see it. Anyway, thanks, and good night.
Hey!
Cheers!
To Fritz and From!
To Fritz and From.
Fritz and Fry.